Hello, guys, and welcome. I'm here from the streets of Lima, Peru, to bring you the wonderful broadcast, the winter tour here for SA. We're here in Div 1 once again. We only have one match for today, but it's an exciting one. It's Infamous arguably duking out against SG Esports. My name is Epulze, and joining me on this wonderful panel is Bowie and Winter. Hello, guys. How are you guys doing?
Hello.
Hi, Winter. Hi. I see a lot of excitement.
I'm doing really well, dude. And I want to tell you something. Usually, you complain that I'm the biased Brazilian caster, but today I come with terrible news because I think this is going to be a storm. I feel like this Infamous team is just like in the top 4 of the teams of Division 1, and I don't think SG, at least so far, belongs to the top 4.
Okay. Well, let me tell you, I don't think you're a bias. I think you're a wonderful caster. I just like playing with you because I am biased, and the more I discredit you, the better I look. So it's just a technique, Bowie. I'm pretty clever about that. I'm not so sure about that because while I would agree with you if I just see the teams itself, the performance we saw from Infamous the first day was lackluster, to say the least. Right? It was just not a good performance.
I mean, they did play against a really good team, though, right?
Fair. That might have changed it a lot. Maybe when these teams, what Bowie's talking about is the new SG Esports, in case you guys don't know, has nothing to do with the old roster. They completely changed the old roster, and it's just like a Frankenstein of teams, honestly. You have like a little bit of Hiko from Midas Club, you put in Arms, was playing in Infinity, I think his last team was. He's been a little bit gone for a while. Yeah. Then Faker as well, or KXY as the English viewers like to call him, though nobody calls him that here. And as well, what's the fifth Wish as well, so a little bit of a known as well inside of it. Faker has been kicked out from more teams that I can count, if I'm honest with you. And then you finally have LTH, which was... I'm actually not very well versed in LTH.
He was from the second team of SG, SG Energy, and they poached him from that team, I guess.
Well, I mean, they poached him. I guess it was part, right? Because SG Energy just became partially SG. Hiko was also in SG Energy last time that we saw them, right? He was actually starting out there. So it's an interesting team. And as Bowie says, a lot of new talent. I'm a fan of Wish, particularly. I think he's really good. I am not such a fan of other players, particularly Faker. I think Faker's been kicked out for a reason.
Yeah, I mean,
are there many teams that have a second team in SA?
SG did
Not
it for like
really.
4 months for whatever reason, and then stopped.
Yeah. They had, there was a little bit of drama with that second team, but generally speaking, there's not a lot of second teams. And we're talking about KXY. I really, really, really feel like he's probably like the best laner in South America and probably the worst macro player in the DPC. He's such a weird player. Like he stomps every single lane. You see him like Sumail is streaming, KXY stomping Sumail in lane, but then he proceeds to feed 4 times and the game's over in 25 minutes. Like
Sounds like CTY.
Yeah.
It's similar to CTY. Except what Faker does, which is interesting, is they always put him in a role that, like, I only see Faker succeed when they put him in a sacrificial role. Like, he'll play Invoker, for example, one of his best heroes, Invoker Quas Wex. And he'll win his lane, he'll gank a bunch, and then he'll build, like, Solar Crest, which is a really old build, and still build it these days. Like, Solar Crest Invoker, buff his carry with Alacrity, and that's all he does. Like, 4-step Solar Crest is the build he goes for. And accomplishes nothing. He's only there to buff the carry. That's his old soul role, and I think he succeeds when he does that. It's a good utility in mid laner. The problem is that, as you said, Bowie, I don't think he can play anything else. I honestly don't think there's any other style that suits him because he always kind of feeds. He's never the space maker enough. Like he can only win the first 20 minutes, and then afterwards, at some moment, he's gonna make a play that's gonna cost his team the game. Which is why he
feels
kicked.
Like he just wants to create space all the time, and he never really communicates that much. And that's the second problem I have with SG. Is that you have Widge, so like you have the 5, which is usually like the core, all of the ideas of the team, not speaking Spanish. Then you have 3 Brazilian players, and you have KXY.
No, Widge speaks Spanish. Widge speaks Spanish, right?
No, how do they Brazilian players?
Yeah. Like, how do they talk to each other
then? In Spanish Portuguese. Like, seriously, all these guys, they speak Portuñol, which is like a combination of Spanish Portuguese, because languages are so similar, they like combine words between them, and I don't think it's that clear.
That's the problem. Like everyone, I can speak Portuñol, but I think like once you have a team that's playing the first division of DPC, like you really need everyone to be on the same page. And I don't think either side speaks enough Portuñol or English for them to. I mean that's only my opinion, and that's obviously that SG's first game. I don't want to jinx them that much, but I do feel like they have a lot to prove because they did play in the Fallen Cup and they lost to like Fúria Jovem, which is not even in the DPC. So yeah, I don't come with a lot of expectations, unfortunately, because I do like the SG org. I think they're really cool.
Yeah, but it's not the best looking. I'm a big fan of Hiko. I've been a fan of him ever since his inception. I thought he was really good, particularly as a 4, right? And now he's starting at the core role. I think Arms is actually a relatively talented carry, but I agree with Wish as well. I think Wish actually was one of the best POS 4s, but I'm not that convinced in him as a POS 5. Like, he was a really solid POS 4. The Nyx Assassin, the Clockworks, the Miranas. As a POS 5, I don't know if he's going to be able to bring that mechanical skill to the table. So, yeah,
that's the
I'm
weird
with you.
part about this team. Like, I like all of their players, but when I see this roster together, it just doesn't actually fit in my head. So, I hope I'm wrong, but it does feel like I mean, this first division is so stacked right now. It's gonna look hard, even if they are a good team. So we'll see.
Usually, when POS 4s switch to POS 5, is because of a lack of captains, as far as I understand.
That's true. Which actually is a captain himself. He was captaining as a POS 4 his last team, so it does make sense that he's captaining now as a POS 5. On the other side, though, since we're going to flame them, let's flame both. Infamous also, I think, has a bit of problem with their positions because if we talk about Infamous now, we have Lumiere, who was regarded as one of the best carries last season, right? He was a Hokori carry, at least for the majority of the season. Then in close qualifiers, he changed teams. He's really solid, but he's a 4 protect 1 style carry. He's a farm. I play terribly. Let me carry your game, right? And then Alone, who I've been claiming for ages that he used to learn to play mids that are like normal and I just can make space, but he literally only plays carry mids. I have never seen him play anything else. Like, he plays the OD.
He plays Void
like
Spirit.
With Witchblade. Okay, he plays Ember. That's true. He plays Ember, but he will farm on Ember. He will play Morphling mid. He'll play the SFs. That's his style, and he always is farming. He's farming all the time. Last game we saw with Lumiere, he gave Lumiere 0 space that whole game, and it did not work out for them.
That sounds like you, farming all the time.
Me?
Yeah.
What? You've never seen my games, Winter? What are you talking about? They call me fat? Is this what you're talking about? I can't really tell. Was that a fat joke, Winter?
No.
Oh, okay.
What?
Okay.
What's happening here?
I don't know. Winter, he likes to go to restaurants, and I'll go into the restaurant, and Winter will be like, "The tummy, you have to be careful with the tummy." And the server will look at us and be like, "All right."
I assure you
see.
that's not true. I assure you.
I'll show you. He says, "I'll show you." All right.
Okay.
Winter, buddy. By the way, I would like to see your whole face. I know you're a pro player, so you like to show me the nostrils, but I would like to see the whole full thing. I don't know if you could do that for us.
He's hiding his chin. It's too big for us, so he's just he doesn't want to intimidate everyone.
No, otherwise he'll call me fat.
I would never do that, Winter, because you're incredibly skinny, actually. So why would I ever do that? But yeah, Bowie, what is your opinion on Infamous? Because I honestly did not think this team was also made to be together, if I'm honest with you.
I mean, I think you do have a point. I think they are like heavy hub players in the sense that like these guys grinded a lot,
especially alone.
Yeah, like I think like if you look at Infamous, their lowest MMR player is rank 35 right now, which is insane. For
is it Axon?
I mean, actually, oh no, yeah, EXO is rank 100. Everyone else is rank 30 or higher.
Yeah,
or lower.
Pretty crazy.
Which is crazy. I think like MMR alone, Infamous is way ahead of SG, but you know that doesn't really. It's not the whole picture. I do feel like Infamous, they felt a little bit shaky, but they were playing against a really good team. So I want to see how they fare against SG. You know, at the end of the day, it could be a pretty close series, and I'm just being a little bit biased here, just being super anti-bias against a Brazilian team to compensate for Infamous.
No, the pubs do matter. You know, it shows they're hardworking players.
They're super hardworking, I think, with Infamous.
I would disagree with that. I think there's. A couple. Look, I think there's a couple of regions where if they pub a lot is not the best of signs. I think if you pub a lot in EU or in SA, it's not a sign that you're a hardworking player. It's actually the opposite. Because one of the difficulties that teams... Yeah, so here's my theory. And let me... Listen. One of the things that teams in EU and in SA say a lot, especially captains, is that they cannot get their players to stop playing pubs and like watch replays and like work with a team. It's like a really difficult thing. They refuse to do any work that's not, I play Dota 12 hours a day. Which is fine. Like, it's good. You're playing Dota a lot, but you're not doing the extra stuff that's part of a pro team, like watching yourself, watching your communication, learning new heroes, this kind of stuff. Like, you don't do any of that. And when you see really, really high MR players, sometimes there's this inkling, this potential issue that they might be those, like, just rank hogs, right? For Team Spirit, for example, they did both, and that was great. But, like, this has been an issue with EU for a while where, like, you get these top-ranked players that refuse to do anything that's not play ranked, and that's not enough for a pro team. Especially not in Div 1. And Alone has been claimed as that person for a really long time.
Mm-hmm. I kind of like your point, honestly. I think, obviously, I mean, you cannot play pubs and still not work on those things, because I feel like that is a problem with some players in the SA region. But yes. I do agree with your point. I think it definitely makes sense. If you just play pubs and you don't really think about everything and you don't really try to improve as a team, having a high MR, player doesn't necessarily translate to winning more games as a unit.
I mean, this is why are you playing the pubs? Are you playing just for the sake of playing, or are you playing it for some reason? Some players that I know, they care a lot about winning, even in the pubs, and they get really mad. Yeah, and they try to play in a way where they just want to win instead of, okay, I should be working on A, B, or C.
Like, here's the concern. I say this particularly for Alone, right? I think Lumiere is not really like that, but for Alone, one of the issues he's had forever is changing his style, right? Like, don't play Morphling mid, dude. Like, play like Ember or Void Spirit. But here's the thing. If you play Morphling mid in pubs, you can honestly, if you're good enough, and he's a godlike Morphling, you can carry your team. You will be able to carry your team like 9 out of 10 pubs if they're like...
I mean, you're saying he's better at a carry role, right? He's more suitable as a carry now?
Yeah, he just carries from the mid lane. Yeah, honestly. I think he just carries, really. I think now that SF is actually a carry as well and he's being played, I think, honestly, he could be a great carry. I think Alone is super top tier as a carry. But as a mid laner, he's lacking a pool of heroes that a mid laner would usually have. In my opinion. From seeing him from 2 years and not seeing him improve.
He's definitely not your, like, Batrider or, I don't know, like, tiny player. He's definitely a little bit more on the carry side. I agree.
He plays Konka. I guess that's the closest thing to a carry that he or the mid laner that he plays. Konka, Ember, Void. I actually never seen him play Void Spirit in competitive.
No, he played Void in the DPC.
Okay.
But it's a solid Void Spirit. But I do agree. I think he used to play a lot of Morphling mid, that's for sure, and it did felt weird a lot of times. I do feel like Infamous is a really good team though. Like if you just look at the like skill of the players, I think they are much better than SG.
I agree.
But at the end of the day, it's not only about how good these players are. You do have to play as a team. You do need to draft well. And Infamous, they already played once. This is SG's first team, so I really want to see how they draft because, you know, that by alone could be a huge advantage.
I mean, the problems you guys mentioned, I think it's pretty normal for an inexperienced team to have problems with adapting to the patches. You know, like I've seen a lot of younger players where they are really, really good at one play style, but when the patch changes or moves, they can't really learn the new play style quickly. Some players take some time, and some players they take another approach, which is to switch roles. You know, to allow them to be in their natural habitat.
I mean, this guy, like, Alone is 17, so it suits him perfectly. Like, this is a team of young players for the most part. I think Lumiere is also very young. Like, we don't have any of the old ones. Well, there is one old player, and that's the point I was going to give to Bowie, which is Axel. There's a if you talk to pro players in South America, particularly Hispanic ones, they will often make the joke that there's only two people in South America that understand Dota, and that's Stinger and Axel. Everyone else is a moron. Like, they only play their pubs, they don't know how to play, but like those two guys, they know Dota. Like, they can analyze a game. Some people would add Papita to that pool. But the idea behind this is that these are considered the best two captains, as I say, the only guys that are like really top tier at drafting. And Axel is regarded as not only a good captain, a good drafter, but also a like genuinely good voice outside the game. Like, he influences players. He knows how to influence the youngsters. He's led a lot of young teams. So this is my hope for Infamous, that if you give him a couple more weeks, Axel's influence will start to play in, and he's going to be able to rein in all these egos and be able to make them play like a team. So I'm with you, Bowie, in that Infamous should be a top tier team. I just don't know how much time they need for that to happen.
Are they together in one place?
Yes, they should be in the Infamous gaming house. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like my actual top 4 of teams right now is actually Beast Coast and the Predator, No Ping, and then it's a tie between Lava and Infamous. I really want to watch the Lava Infamous series. It's coming, but we'll see how Infamous fares here. I do feel like Lava and Infamous should be fighting for the 4th place. I know Lava used to be the ultimate Predator. I know it might sound weird for me to say that, but I think Lava is yet to really showcase the Dota that they used to play in the last
I mean, on
year.
paper they should be the favorites, right? On paper.
Yes,
Lava?
on paper, yeah, I think they should be
compared to Infamous. You mean, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
right.
yes. But I do feel like Infamous has the potential, dude, because it's all about momentum. It's all about like in this, especially in the first season. Like, if Infamous wins 2-3 series, they could just take it.
Yep. Let's go to the draft now, so we can continue speaking about these teams with an actual draft in front of us. Yeah, I agree with you. I actually see the potential in Infamous you're talking about. I thought that they would be that team in the second season. I thought Lab would be looking better in this first season, because they're being together for much longer, right? But we'll see. I'm also hopeful for them. I want to give SG Esports more love. I just think that they need more time. Maybe this team would have started better off in Div 2, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see how this series fares, but their performance in the Falling Cup was not very impressive. Losing
that's
and all.
Yeah, that was concerning.
It's just practice, man. It's just practice. Don't worry.
Is this what you told your teams, Winter, when you were coaching them? When you coached lower division teams, is what you told them?
Nope, I'm not gonna tell you what, but that's something like that.
Okay, that's a yes. So thank you, Winter. Good to know. Good to know. All right. So what do you? Okay, let's see, Bowie. Or actually, I want to ask you, Winter. You are the weaker team. You consider yourself the weaker team. What's your drafting plan? How do you approach this?
I don't give a fuck what it's my opponent doing. I just focus on myself.
Okay, I like that.
I think a lot of the weaker teams, they tend to have this issue where they try to counter or they try to worry too much about what the opponent is doing, rather than I just want to focus on what everyone likes to do in a game, how they like to play, try to draft everyone their best heroes. I think this is pretty crucial in a tier like 1.5 or tier 2 team. You put everyone on your most comfortable hero and you just try to play the game, and you don't care about what the enemy is doing that much.
I like that. Is it also easier to learn from those games as well? Like when you lose them, because it's your comfort hero, so it's easier for you to look at the things that you have to improve on.
Yes, for sure. Because if you play something that you don't really know how to play, then if you're the coach, you're looking at it, okay, you can't play Mars, go play more pubs in Mars. And then what, It's difficult to talk about the game as a whole if somebody doesn't really play their hero correctly.
I like that.
Yeah. You just use that as a scapegoat, right? And you don't really learn about...
I mean, it's not really just like a scapegoat, like it's just really hard, when somebody, let's say, he messes up so much in the lane because he's unsure of how to use his spells correctly, and you lose the lane 9-1, then there's nothing much to talk about the game, especially if it's a mid matchup, And if you lose your lane so badly as a mid player, it's pretty much GG.
Yeah, I totally agree. Do like this opener though, Mars Dark Willow. I think it's super strong. Could be Willow 4 or 5. If it's 4, it pairs really well with Mars. They go for
it's
classic.
4,
what? A Dark Willow? Oh, okay.
Yeah, Axel cannot play Willow. Let me tell you right now. they're gonna give it to Michael. Yeah.
All right. Okay, it's gonna be 4, and that's KXY/Shrek 100% because he has 3 or 4 heroes that he really likes to play, and they usually ban all of the other heroes that he plays. So I think this is just...
I mean, it's rather early to go for Shrek. They have to ban a lot of heroes, I think.
Yeah, it's because he has no more hero. Like, genuinely, it's Doom, Invoker, Lesh. Like, that's his
doesn't play a lot of heroes really well. Not at the same level. I think it's very similar to like Mini on King of Kings. Like his Shrek is tiers and tiers above everything else he plays.
I think the last hero is Void Spirit, right? It would be Invoker, Doom, Lesh, Void Spirit that I put as like top heroes for Faker.
Yeah, I do like the bans that they went though. I think taking DOD is super important. Taking the Batrider. This is probably okay. Maybe you take the Lina too if you're very scared.
Yeah, I would take take out the Lina just in case, because that's also a hero alone. Like alone, I think Lina's one of Alone's better heroes because he can carry and he can be a win condition like he likes, but he also wins the lane and actually creates space, right? So it's like perfect for alone.
You can just give him Lina and maybe you pick Spirit Breaker. And you have IO Spirit Breaker and you just keep ganking the Lina with the Lesh.
Oh, okay. I like that idea.
Okay.
I think Spirit Breaker has been one of the picks that I've been noticing a lot recently.
Yep.
I feel like the hero is pretty good in the meta. I prefer it more honestly on a core role though, rather than support. But if you make it a support, it's fine. It's fine too.
I agree. I think core Spirit Breaker, particularly like offlane or mid, is pretty nice. Though I've seen some carry Spirit Breaker shenanigans, which is pretty interesting.
What? Carry?
Yeah.
Which region?
No, like it's a immortal pub thing. People are trying it out these days.
Okay.
I don't think it's been tried yet in competitive.
I mean,
that sounds like a Gork move.
Yeah, what's the
No, it was
build?
not a Gork. It was a BSJ move. It's different.
Okay.
It was you go for Ags, Echo Saber. So you go Echo Saber into Ags, and then the Ags helps you farm ridiculously, and then you can either go Silver Edge or obviously BKB, and then into like luxury items like Assault Cuirass, stuff like that. And you actually kind of carry the games. It's very similar. I think it's better as mid or off because the playstyle is the same. It's just that carry kind of...
I do feel like this is a really hard Spirit Breaker game though, because you have 2 supports that handle Spirit Breaker really well. You have the Spear. It's gonna be really hard to connect a charge this game.
Willow is pretty annoying.
Yeah. So they might just go for... I mean, if this Shrek is indeed middle, I wouldn't mind them just going for their offlaner plus position 4 here. And just give Mars...
It depends on their plan as well. What did they want to do? If they want to play those kind of like split pushy type of game with IO, then they're going to have to go for some catch, But if they want to go for more engaging, they have to pick teamfight heroes. Okay, they don't have a teamfight hero yet. Good wing.
That's catch, right? You could now pick your teamfight hero as well.
I'm not sure ARMS plays Morphling really well, but I really like Morphling this game because you're against the Willow, you're against Mars. Overall, it feels like a pretty, especially Vio, the split pushing that you were talking about. I think it synergizes really well with Vio, but I don't remember seeing ARMS play Morphling.
I think against Mars, the heroes have been popular that actually like win lane, win game are Morphling, Luna, and PA. And then you have like Dusa as a potential, if you can't.
PA is really good here against 2 squishy supports.
Yeah, PA is genuinely pretty decent here. Yeah, I agree. I think ARMS does play PA as well.
There they go.
There's your team fight, Winter, that you asked for.
Yeah, at least they have a way of fighting into the arena right now.
Yeah.
But the infamous team fight is actually just way stronger. They're just way stronger.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
have a
Pango
lot
can
of burst
perform the split
damage.
pushing, right, as well? Like, he can cut lanes and he can be kind of a nuisance
Yeah,
as well.
I think their game plan now is pretty straightforward. They have to go for this kind of like at least double BKB timing with Lash plus the carry. And Pango, Lash, they can just split push until they're ready to fight.
Yep.
But they need to make sure that they don't lose the lanes too badly. But so far, their heroes are mostly pretty good in the lane. The Hoodwing and the IO supports.
Yeah, I actually dislike PA quite a lot now for SG because you were talking about the BKB timing. I think because PA needs to go Battlefield first, the BKB timing is usually more delayed than if you're a Luna or another carry. I think PA just gets hunted so easily against all of those heroes. I would like something different. You know, Bloodseeker, I wouldn't mind a Bloodseeker, but they actually banned it themselves. As SG.
Something that's, I feel like they need something that's probably more tanky. They can fight earlier. They can work well with the IO.
Maybe a Sven?
Sven is not bad. Not bad. Good
You
in
just
the
jump the
lane.
Disruptor, jump the Quap, and then you follow up with the Pango Hoodwink.
Yeah, not bad.
I do like this one. He's okay against Mars. You can go for the Ursa if you want to, which is an IO partner as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually really like the Ursa.
The thing is, I actually don't think... Oh, well, there you go.
Oh, there you go.
There you go, no Ursa.
I mean, Bristleback is kind of like a semi-replacement. Not as good, but same kind of hero.
Actually, but Mars makes him turn, right, with the spear?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
There's not many like frontline heroes that can use the IO so well now. Carry heroes.
Yeah, I mean...
please not troll. I'm just saying it now. It's not troll, please.
I honestly don't mind the Tro. I think Tro can just go Maelstrom BKB and like you just force Roche with this lineup, you force towers. I just don't want them going for something like that takes too long to get a BKB.
Okay.
Mr. Anti-Mage. Mr. Anti-Mage.
Please don't go Anti-Mage.
Okay, so we're not deciding what they pick. We're deciding what we don't want them to pick.
This is nice. I think this is nice. No, this is nice.
Okay.
He fights
What's
early.
the logic?
He can fight early. He works well with IO. He's kind of like a semi-front line because they don't really have a front line. Pango's going to be like playing from the side and waiting to engage with the role in a team fight. So Tiny is, I think, perfect for their lineup.
Okay.
He's a tanky hero. He's gonna start the fight. He blink in, whatever. Like just be the first distraction, and then Pango can watch and wait. When does he come in with the role?
I mean, I agree with everything you said. I do feel like Tiny got heavily nerfed though after TI. I have my doubts about Tiny being a good carry in this patch, but conceptually it's good. So
yeah, it works with the lineup, but we have to see how much the nerf changes the hero. More
they
team
did
fight.
nerf, you know, Echo Saber, Shadow Blade, Silver Edge, the talent that was bugged. There's so many things, but it is good. I think it's actually really good versus Void too because you're tanking Chronosphere.
I mean, let's split push, I guess. Chrono, oh my god, Sonic Wave. I mean, the thing about like having so much team fight is sometimes because you are drafting a lot of team fight. Whenever you use too many spells to kill someone and you're playing against an IO draft, you're gonna lose a lot of the map, and especially when they have less red, they can take your towers when somebody dies quickly, very very quickly.
Yeah. I'm okay with this draft. I do feel like if they had a troll, they would be able to force Roche much easier. They would be able to force towers much easier.
That's actually a pretty important point. But whenever you're playing this kind of like speed push, dodgy kind of lineup, you want to have the ability to kill Roshan.
Yeah.
If you cannot kill Roshan and they use their big spells, then
exactly
it's a pretty annoying problem.
Because like here I see, okay, Chrono and Arena got used. Okay, let's just go Roche. But their lineup, I mean, sure you have Pango, but it's not gonna be super easy. But still, like, it doesn't seem like a bad draft. It's not like that Faceless Void last pick was insanely like good for Infamous as well. So really interested to see how this Tiny Care is gonna fare. You know,
it just fits the team. You know, the captain just wants, I want to pick team fight. I don't care. Give me a hero that has team fight.
It does make Pango's life a bit difficult. It's honestly a really difficult game for a Pango when you have a
for the lane, the early time dilation is very annoying. Very annoying.
We'll have to see how the game fares. Where's our panel siding? I wasn't able to read it this time.
I think it's kind of even, honestly.
Okay, Winter?
I mean, it depends on your preference. The two drafts are, and the teams, how you like the teams. The drafts are very, very polar opposite. You know, one draft.
I would say Infamous is better.
The other draft is like speed push.
All right.
I mean, all right. But I think I kind of like Infamous draft more too.
Right, I'm glad I got you both off the fence. Wonderful. Bowie and Winter slightly siding with Infamous, much later than the pregame. But let's see if we have SG Esports proving them wrong, or perhaps doing the split pushing to the best of their ability. To cast this wonderful encounter, we have the wonderful matchup, the favorite matchup for those SA fanatics that watched last season and are now tuning into this season, is the casting combo of Gareth.
I was waiting there for him to say your name, then I realized, hang on, he put them both together.
that was good, yeah. I got a little lost there as well.
I'm so happy we have this kind of panel, though, because my Neanderthal brain, when I'm looking at drafts, you know, I would say 9 times out of 10, I prefer Infamous draft. I like team fight. I like when people have big spells to cast. But it's great hearing Bowie and Winter talk about the nuance and the concept of the split pushing that SG can bring, and the ability to maybe drag the game out and find the openings they need. Are you really like leaning one way or the other? Are you a Neanderthal like me, or more refined to go with SG?
I definitely prefer the ease of Neanderthal brain, and I do think that fits well for Infamous. You know, I lived my life like that, and so I like to see it in others. So I think that simplicity, you know, keep it simple, stupid. But that being said, I really thought the Tiny pick was very impressive, because I thought they were in a bit of a pinch. I'm looking at those heroes, and I'm like, I thought they were going to pick Jug for a second. I like, you know, the panic Jug pick where you just know it's going to go bad. But I think the Tiny's just a really, really good way to solve this problem. Just like, you know, you can enable yourself for pickoffs, the BKB timing. You can get it on the earlier end, but if the game's going well, maybe you can still dodge it and delay it. So, yeah, I think they definitely have a good shot, but I really like that Boy brought up the Roche point at the end, because that's so important when you're trying to actually punish, like, moving your opponent around the map.
That's so good. And the fact that Lesh and Tiny are both constant sources of damage, right? They're not reliant on cooldowns. They're basically just reliant on HP and mana pools. So if they can tank up or get big mana pools in the Lesh rack, they can just keep pumping damage, especially with an IO behind them. And if one of them's dead, IO just tethers over to the other one.
Yeah, their longest cooldown is basically just going to be Rolling Thunder. That's the only thing that you know they care about when they go for their smokes and everything. So like between that as well as relocate, I guess those are the two to watch for. So that being said, yeah, I am favoring Infamous. I think their lineup just looks much easier to execute. I feel like you just need a couple good arenas early. Alone's going to be looking for that classic rotation. Once you have the Sonic Wave, you can either be like aggressive and go on your own accord if you get a rune, or you can just play it a little bit passive if you think one of the other lanes is going to be going for some plays, so like try and punish, like if the IO and the Tiny reach a little bit too far or something like that.
Yeah, it's interesting the different mid-heroes doing different things like that, right? You think of the Invoker that we've seen from Mini on King of Kings. He's the one that plays actively and makes those rotations even without a rune. I guess Spirits are also the same story, whereas Leshrac and Queen of Pain much more reactive in how they want to get into the side lanes. Right now, Axel putting a bit of damage onto that Hoodwink bottom. We already saw a bit of a brawl up top. Both side lanes just trading regen, trying to drag their wave closer to their tower. How important is this laning stage for SG? Because that's something that Winter also brought up, is they kind of need to get through the first 10 minutes of the game and not get steamrolled.
Yeah, I think keeping KXY alive is a good thing to consider. Like, goals for Leshrac right now are, like, hope that Queen does a TP rotation as opposed to a, like, grab a haste rune, run top, kill them, and then TP back mid. You want some time alone so you can actually pressure the tower. So I think that would be, like, my hopes and dreams if I was a Leshrac this game. Try and get that tower down in the early end so that you can rotate and try and take their safe lane tower next to pair up as... Ooh, Lumiere. He's taking a lot of damage. Ooh, that's good.
Great bushwhack, yeah. I mean, Lumiere with that stick, though, and shared tangos across, he is going to be able to get through the bit of damage put to him by SG. Hoodwink wants that courier real bad, though. Snipes it through the tree line.
Man, that was no ward, right? You didn't have one back there?
Yeah, he just, like, cut a tree, saw that little glimpse of vision through there.
That feels so good.
Very nicely done.
Because you know that Disruptor probably wants a D ward, too, right? Like, I feel like you'll see the sentry down in that area trying to find that.
Yeah, like, where is that vision? He's already got one over his small camp and getting into that lane a little bit. Just thinking about that mid lane again, also pretty difficult for SG to move in onto the Queen of Pain, right? You said you want the Queen of Pain to leave the lane because there's really no chance of a Hoodwink rotating to gank or an IO ganking. They have to play these lanes as they're set up. As Arms, he gets run at by the Mars. Thankfully has the overcharge from IO to keep him topped up.
Yeah, the only way you control Queen is by diving the Faceless Void hard enough that she feels like there is an opportunity and you manage to live, you know?
Yeah. Oh, we missed the swashbuckle bottom.
Dude, the greed.
Time dilation's on him as well. Lumiere's going for it if he gets a bash. Oh, the connect field doesn't keep that Hoodwink inside. Was he trying to line up the swashbuckle on both the heroes then and missed out the disruptor?
He was really close though. Unfortunate.
Still looking pretty good across all the lanes though. Everyone's farming.
Yeah,
like look at those CS values. Like, okay, 4 supports at the bottom, but everyone else is dead even. A bit of a go top. Shadow Realm. Michael safe. Why is tier 1?
Yeah. Look at Excel's inventory. Our poor disruptor.
Oh dear. He has
he's
smoke.
Only bought consumables.
Oh, Arms. Now the IO. Oh, it's so close. On the brink of death. What regen have they got left? They've got Headdress, Mango. No Tangos or Salve, though, so it's down to that overcharge. So I guess in this case right now, you look at Infamous and think, okay, they've won the regen battle. They now have Mars in a good position. 2 pretty low heroes there. Good attempt with the God's Rebuke, but didn't quite push the Tiny into the Brambles, and a pretty poor attempt at the Spear. Yeah. I tried.
Get it. They will get the pull off here though as they drive them back, so that's great. Both and bottom lane too. Top and bottom getting some pulls happening here. Oh, and I said that, and Michael actually they didn't get the pull. Oh no! Disaster.
Oh no!
It was free.
Oopsie daisy.
Yeah.
And that's a dire wave pulled into the small camp. So what? A couple of creeps denied.
Oh, that whole creep camp. Oh, bottom lane though. We got our observer on, and there it is.
There it is. Lumia
back up top though. They're onto Arms too.
Diving that Tiny, overcharged with a tether and the stick charges, keeping that Tiny up and running. And I do kill off Axel down bottom.
All right, I'll take the blame.
Pangolier with a double kill.
I made the call to go top. That's on me.
I mean, Tiny's dying top. Oh, he does drop. You were right in the end. Both side lanes, they were going at each other's throats. And we've got 2 for 2.
So who's happy in this whole exchange? I guess just the mid players, huh? They're just hanging out like dead allies means TPs to refill our bottles. It's 6 minutes coming up, so they're gonna drive back KXY. This isn't a kill. This is a getaway. I want that top rune.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's
D-ward.
Give him the wave.
We'll get some vision going. And blink in on the Hoodwink. What's LTH up to? He's trapped in the Brambles now. They will stun up Michael's Dark Willow, but gets himself out of range of that Leshrac, who has the Invis Rune bottled, as we saw. And that's 3 heroes from Infamous actually moving into the mid lane.
Yeah, Alone was thinking about dropping the Sonic Wave. I was like, nah, I think we got it. So, able to save that and hold it for a kill after, as it is one of the long cooldowns they have. They have quite a few.
How does Sonic Wave work against Pango ulti? I always forget this one. Does it stop it completely?
I think because I think they stopped that from happening, right? I'm pretty sure that doesn't happen to Pango anymore. But you're right. It used to be anything that was forced movement. Yeah. But I don't think it ends it now.
Yeah, I just had that brain moment where I'm like, wait, memory kicking in. Old man brain remembers something. Oh, yeah. Hopefully it was fixed.
Oh, there used to be so many bad ones for Pango where you could just ruin it.
It wasn't fun to be a Pango. Just getting counterpicked by like 10 heroes.
That's why we're here, you know? We'll all just make sure together. We'll see how the interaction goes.
Yeah, learning.
Yeah, perfect.
This lane stage is broken down way faster than I'm used to. What, like 6 minutes in, we now have a 1v1 bot. There were 5 heroes mid lane. Someone's jungling. KXY is now jungling and moving up towards top. And they do get a stun onto the Tiny top with the arena. Spear him up against the side and Arms down while Michael moves on to his secondary target, but KXY is here. Gives up on farming jungle, wants to take down the Willow. Tons of damage in an area through the Shadow Realm to claim the kill.
So I will say, I think this has been a pretty constant theme in a lot of the games I've been casting, at least, is this this early head mid for the position 4. I feel like a lot of teams are abusing stacking right now again. I mean, because it's pretty awesome when you get away with it and you see all these stacks. Yeah, taking a look. They're set up in here. They have a little bit of vision to help them defend it. And, I mean, they have a Lesh and a Tiny, but of course, with an IO, like, Leshrac can really get through this. Look at this efficiency. Oh, they're just going down onto the next camp. The smoke's coming.
They're in the jungle. They're on their way. Alone is there, blinking forward. KXY almost out of mana now, as Alone doesn't have too much in the way of backup close enough by, but they do arrive with Willow and Disruptor moving on to KXY. Fairy fires up, healed by the IO, the stun landing in. Good bushwhack back, and Sacred, he's joined in the battle, skirmishing away and finding 2 kills for Infamous. Tiny, where are you off to? Thinking about rejoining, even tossing forward. The hoodwink onto Michael.
Nice.
So a 2 for 2 in the end. I mean, the Lesh is a big kill for them.
Yeah. That was all with no mana remaining on Alone again, so I actually still can't use that ulti. Might have had one more kill there, perhaps, but still kind of okay in the end, I would say. Good excursion, disrupt some of the farm. Tiny will get it, but I think trying to boost your Leshrac as fast as possible is the goal right now. Try and get into that hood, so I'll consider that a win for Infamous. I think aggressive moves this early can be very dangerous, especially because I didn't see any ward up there. I don't think they had one. Pretty bold move to catch those stacks.
When did Lumiere use Chrono? Used it bot on the Pango, I guess, while that fight was all happening.
Curious.
But yeah, I was watching the Lesh's net worth. It went up to like 3.4, 3.5k almost, clearing a couple of stacks, then went down to 3.2 when he died. So he really didn't gain anything as they glimpsed Tiny. Trying to dodge the brambles, but he gets pushed into 2 of them. That Sonic Wave making sure they get the kill. And oh, Pango, he's TP'd into the brambles. Does get himself out of the way. That Terrorize was on its way.
Is Alone going to get a rune, though? Yes, finally. Meanwhile, up top, they were hunting.
And Pango rolling, Tumblr's toying over the cliffs. And away he goes into Alone. Blink on cooldown for 2 seconds. But where's the Pango's buddies? Lash and Io just too distant to make a go of this. They want the Mars instead. Terrorize is going to fear them up. And look at the Lash stunned under tower. I don't know. They're trying to fight. When the panel said they should be split pushing, they're going to get both of them. Io Lash dead to Michael.
Why are they coming in here?
Drop over near the
after ulti. The ulti's over. It's done. Bango didn't hit her enough. All right.
I just really wanted to get involved. They did kill the Queen of Pain in the end, but yeah, losing your Lash and the IO in this long drawn-out fight and giving Michael level 8 now on a position 4 going to feel good for the Willow.
Well, interesting. That is also a lot of space for Lumiere. Up here at this top tier 1 tower, has a ward in behind, so feeling pretty safe. Farms a couple waves, dances his way back to the graveyard of the side shop, you know. Remembering better times in the offlane.
He's one of the more classic position 1 players, I feel, from South America as well, like full farm heavy. We saw his Lunas, his PAs in previous seasons do exceptionally well, getting a lot of gold into his pockets. Right now, you know, sitting in 5th place on the net worth board, but a nice kill there. Hoodwink and Pango sniping Disruptor, but Disruptor's job to keep that Faceless Void alive.
Mission accomplished. Armseer going for the early Echo Saber on the Tiny. Nothing too surprising. Curious if he goes for the Blink. I feel like they kind of need it. I think maybe Blink BKB might be the play here.
Yeah, get on the Void or the Quap.
I just think if he doesn't get it, it's a rough start. Then again, actually, Ecos is coming kind of early. 12 minutes. I feel like that's pretty good for a Pango. Like, who already has Arcane Boots as well. Well done.
Yeah, he's done very well for himself. And that's with the laning phase breaking down, right? Supports all went mid and then top. It was just a Hiko versus Lumiere lane down bot. Hoodwink caught up in the Cursed Crown. Faceless Void gives her the time dilation and a little Shadow Realm to dodge away. Chrono even expended here. Lumiere desperate for kills. See if they can transfer this into a tier 1 tower, though. I feel like SG probably want to come up and defend it, knowing that Chrono's down.
Yeah, they're not committing a whole lot, though, are they? Like,
Nope, they're not pushing.
Yeah, Sacred's still just like hanging out mid, killing a wave. You got Alone down bottom, doing the same thing. Just wants to get some items. And all right, well, rather than Blink, Arm's going for like the in-between item of the Shadow Blade. I kind of appreciate that with the fact that the Blink's coming so early for the Pangolier. That's a nice middle ground to go for.
Yeah, should be pretty good for him. Widge on that IO. Just moving through the jungle, sitting in behind the Lash. In fact, 3 heroes expecting Infamous to make a move in that mid lane. They are kind of ready for this.
I mean, it's a Mars. He's a Blink Dagger. It's like, hello? Like, they know this timing is there. They have their Blink Dagger. We all know what everyone wants to do right now. And we still don't have Chrono for a minute and a half. So the edge should be to SG in this moment. But Arena is amazing at this point in the game. Because you know there's not going to be any magic immunity. You're going to get a good angle with this Blink. People have low mobility, so you catch 3 or 4 heroes, they're going to be stuck.
Such a good read from Arms. Like, in a pub game, he'd be spam pinged and flamed. You're full HP, full mana. Why are you walking back to base?
Yeah.
But he realizes that something's not quite right. Nobody's top. His team smoked in there. Now they come back into mid, onto Lumiere. Static Storm's going to catch the Lashrak inside with the Brambles as well, but this Rolling Thunder disrupting the back end of the team fight while the Arena spears up the IO, catching out Widge. Axel does lose his life, so support for support at this point, but LTH slain by the Queen of Pain, and a good terrorize sends a Pango back.
Wow, what a
Pretty
save,
close
too.
fought battle.
They could have had Lumiere there for sure. They were just like a little bit slow on getting the follow-up stun, and that gave the window for Excel to land the Stack Storm. And now, the worst possible scenario. This is
he's
a pretty
pushed
dead
back.
Lash.
Straight into the Brambles, completely isolated. And honestly, that fight, it was pretty even between the two of them. You know, team fight ulti's expended. A 400 gold swing doesn't feel, you know, tremendous at this point in the game. It's like 2 supports for 1 support. Then you lose your Lash, and it's just, ow. Doesn't feel good.
What is Excel?
Eco. He's got Glimpse.
Yeah.
He's holding Glimpse. Oh, Sharpshooter
What was
lands
he
into the
hoping
back
to do?
of the Void. He's baiting. He was baiting for Lumiere to come in and become dominating. Now Michael, he wants the poor little hoodwink. Don't think they'll chase up to high ground though. Instead, aim for the IO. Tether up will get him out.
I mean, I guess you have your counterplay to the Glimpse, right? With the, you can do like the swash thing or whatever. So I guess that's his whole point of just like constantly. I still don't get why he chased that deep. I feel like that was just death.
Yeah, that's that desperate scrambling for, hey, our Lesh just died. We need to do something.
Yeah.
Awkward though. And now we just have Mars sitting mid clearing waves. Lumiere continues free farming.
This is so. Why are they so grouped? There's Chrono. There's Arena. This is terrifying. Do they have a sentry down there? I don't even see one. There's one on the pillar. But like, there's a ward behind the tower. I feel like Infamous know about this.
Yep. There's double dire wards in triangle, so I guess they're going to come back for Lumiere when he dips into his high ground here. But it's already been scouted.
Oh, this is a good
Michael,
one, though. They see the Mars.
Right place, right time. Pango's in onto the Void. Lumiere. Time walks away from the bushwhack. And it is disengage and reset time for SG. They do not want to be fighting into this arena now that Pango ult's been used up.
And they're getting dewarded there, too. Oh, man, that is so unfortunate. They had such good vision in that area from SG. And not able to capitalize. At the same time, at least Arms wasn't wasting any of his momentum in this game right now. Still farming up towards that EKB that the panel pointed out would be needed on the early end. So, coming directly after the Echo Saber. And honestly, I would have expected more kills out of Infamous by now.
They just need to not lose this Lesh again, hey? Yeah. IO, Lash, glimpse back into the Storm.
He's good.
KXY, he's tethered and healed, but the Chrono's there. Focused down Widge, the IO's dropping so quickly. That Sonic Wave will secure alone a double kill.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
That's a toughie.
That's everything used, though. Like, they've got Mars Arena, and that's it. So, window maybe for SG when everyone's respawned to go and play some Dota 2.
I do think they need the BKB. Like, no one's going to want to go with the BKB on Tiny, though, so he's going to want to hang out. And then Lesh is going to be like, guys, I don't have an item.
So unconvinced by my cheery optimism there.
I know the feel.
Pango's dead. Is Hoodwink also deceased? Yep. Yep. Double kill for Alone. And this is where things completely start to snowball out of the hands of SG. Now it goes from, Panel was saying they need to split push and they need to, make the map work for them. It becomes 10 times harder.
It becomes dip, duck, dive, dodge. That's the only thing you can do. You can't fight him straight on, that's for sure. You got to find yourself
5 rules of
initiation, yeah.
5 rules of dodgeball. What was that? So there were 2 dodges, right?
He says dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodge. The 5
Very
dodges.
good.
You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Oh, jeez, I forgot that movie existed.
For that movie, by the way.
I think so.
Yeah. They're all boomers out there now.
Dear Lord.
I mean, look back on the movies, on the year of movies that, defined you or whatever.
Don't. I can't, man. I was doing that the other day. We were looking at, E.T. and The Lion King and Toy Story and stuff as sacred. Gets popped out by arms.
Boom. Big stuff. Let's go, SG.
Huge kill.
That's what you need.
But what's next? Move into
More
mid?
kills.
A kill into tier 1, maybe? They still have that observer ward behind the tier 1, off near the small camp.
Killing the tower with the edict. They have the reload saves just in case. They're flaunting it. Oh,
green lights are coming for Infamous, though.
No, we're getting the green lights. Yeah, pretty much.
Chrono 15.
Yeah.
And that's it. Everything's ready. Yeah, you're right. They are pushing tier 2 bottom. So tier 1 mid is sat at what? 185, just outside of deny range. And I think Alone there was he's pinging it, saying, "Hey guys, we defend this." So that's pretty smart, right? They go tier 2 bot, so there's no glyph. Because if they took tier 1 mid, they probably wouldn't get that tier 2 bottom lane. Oh, Sacred. He's straight on top of them. Avalanche toss on the BKB from Tiny means no spear landing, and he walks straight through the arena.
Oh, Faceless Void. He's getting comboed.
Faceless Void's half HP. He's just being rolled on. The Thunder lands. He time walks it back, and Chrono's up 2. Gets on top of the IO. And a good Sonic Wave there to clear it up. Michael now has that Bedlam destroying Tiny. Armor matters not to the magic damage of the Dark Willow, but KXY still has a decent amount of HP. No, he doesn't anymore. He's silenced up. He's now run out of mana, and he's probably wishing he hadn't joined this team fight. Pango is looking to zone them away, but he's been bashed up by Lumiere as Alone claims a triple kill, and Hiko trapped on the high ground hands over the Ultra.
I think after that Chrono, this was a TP out situation, and they went back in for the attempt and lost their Tiny and their Lesh because of it. Oh, things were looking so bright and shiny for a moment there, but they got their spells together, right? That's just what you said. They're coming back up. They're gonna have them, and I do think you need to play disrespectfully as SG right now. I think you need to just pretend that you're better, even though you're not, because you have to outplay them in this moment, but. You are fighting at a disadvantage, and I think it showed there. I do like what Widge has been doing, by the way. Went for the 1 point in the overcharge, whereas, I feel like everyone hates Spirits now because it stinks, but because he's playing with a Leshrac a lot this game, I think he's just well, Spirits are better than overcharge for this guy. So it's a little rough for his Tiny, but at least he can solo farm when his cores are dead.
Yeah, that's true.
Right sign, right? That's what you want to hear. Well, at least you can farm when your
your
cores are
position
dead.
4 is leeching all the golden experience from the jungle. Well, Arms is sticking around up top, half health.
This guy's a huge brain. I can't believe he held his BKB there. Look at him. He's no.
We might have to use
they
it
want
now.
it so bad. They're just begging him. Do it.
The blink onto the Queen of Pain.
Oh, he didn't do it.
She gets out. They've got a Yule Scepter up here. Michael is looking for KXY, and he fears the Tiny IO back. Meanwhile, Pango chasing Axel still. Michael down, Spear is there, Pango caught up in it. There's no Alone.
He hits this every time.
A million miles away. Yeah, he's got the stun there for sure. So 2 support kills for SG. But the question always for me is what do they do next? They can't really Roshan. They can't push tier 1 top. So it's 2 kills for the sake of 2 kills.
All right, drop a ward and hide on the high ground.
Good plan.
There's not much else you can do, unfortunately. Getting that outpost back would be nice. I would consider that a good goal in the near future for SG.
The outpost?
Yeah, take that bottom outpost. Snag it back. Get some free XP. deny it from your opponent. You can't fight them. Well, steal their passive income, their side hustle, as it were.
Doesn't the bottom one belong to Infamous?
Yeah, but SG can take it. They took the tier 2.
Okay. Oh, right.
Big
When you said
brain,
getting
Gary.
it back, I'm like, it's like, who's
Get it back
stolen it from
again.
them? I see.
Reclaim what
Neanderthal
was
brain
reclaimed.
at work, like I said at the start of this game.
That colonial brain.
Oh, Sacred's in. He's got the. Oh, yeah, that's very true. IO shredded inside the brambles. They've also got the hoodwink as well. And on the complete reversal of what I was saying earlier, with SG unable to really claim any objectives after a couple of support kills, Infamous straight into Roshan.
Yeah, the unfortunate. We
they're
can
coming
do
to
this. You definitely can't.
Yep. Is Lesh going to do what you said? Is he going to go take the outpost? Come on, buddy.
He's doing the you can't
Hango's
see
coming
me
too.
right now play. You know? He doesn't have the confidence to take that outpost.
Yeah, it's a bit spooky. Even with Pango and Tiny nearby, they're not going for it.
All right, now I like to say that Refresher is the most unexplored item in Dota, and that's quickly changing because everyone's buying Refresher. But Hiko, I don't know about that, bud.
The
Is that the
Pango's
play?
buying Refresher?
I mean, that's actually so sick with his items, though. Like his chain stun will be legit if he can get there.
That's true.
Oh my god, dude, his chain stun will be insane. Between roll up, the Yule Scepter, double ulti.
And the blink. Just gets on top of that. I mean, we've seen them bring the Void down to like 30% HP with just, one roll. Maybe that's what they need.
This is actually good because they don't have a way to stop him outside of Chrono, right? Well, other than, outright damage, I guess, which they do have a lot of.
Oh, outpost for outpost. And very quick TP's back. Arms has to BKB. Good spear from Sacred. Gonna isolate that Leshrac, allowing Lumiere to come in, but the Rolling Thunder, that Sonic Wave from Alone. Pair it up with a Chrono. That's lights out for SG. 3 heroes dead. The full arsenal from Infamous just blasted all over them.
It's just so free. Like, the tether comes through, and you just... It lines up so perfectly for the Chrono. It makes it simple for you. Little team fight on training wheels for old Lumiere this game. He has had such a lovely game on Faceless Void. I feel like every time I see him, he's just farming free waves and then showing up to team fights where it's like a little platter. The arena starts it, chaos begins here, and he just waltzes in. He's like, oh, look, a tether. I already jumped here. Oh, Pango wants to roll in too? Cool.
Yeah, then Sonic Wave just pushes even more people towards the Chrono. Like, here, have some more.
I feel like that Sonic Wave is what allowed the Chrono to get off at that exact timing because he pushed the ball
think so.
just a little bit away. So he had the animation time for the Chrono. So well done by Alone. He was also 12, 1, and 8, by the way.
Hey, he's rolling. Shiva's God coming up next. Orchid, BKB, Quap. Scardy now delivered out to the Faceless Void. And a lot of work to do for SG. They have eyes on a target, though. Alone's Queen of Pain gets the BKB off in time. Oh, the tiny physical damage, though, is ripping through her. She pops the illusion and blinks away, barely escaping and then getting the kill with the help of Michael. In the back, we've got the Leshrac faced off with the Faceless Void and an arena in the middle onto the Tiny. Isolating arms as Hiko tries his best to allow the Tiny just to disengage and run away because it is scramble time. It is get the hell out of here time. Wedge tethering up. Forces out the Aegis. Relocates that Leshrac away. Hoodwink brought back. Combo onto the Faceless Void. They brought him down low enough and they get the kill.
The outplays? Big outplays? Hiko,
I
by the way,
wasn't expecting that.
dude, his life with no Chrono is just completely different. It's night and day. He gets to play his hero. Now imagine if he had 2 of those ultis. Oh. Alone. Didn't get Yule's up there. Didn't have his BKB either. Man, if he almost died.
That would have been incredibly scary. And there's big lines drawn. Take control of that bottom jungle. They do so much damage to these towers. Tier 2 gone thanks to Overcharge plus Tiny with his shard.
I'm going to point this out now, Gary, because I always forget when it happens. We need to keep an eye on this shard for IO. Okay?
The stun?
Yes, so we watch out for that. I feel like I get halfway through a game and I go, why did that guy get stunned? And I'm like, oh, right, he blinked into the tether. Just no one thinks about that right now. Anyway, not there now, but, you know, use your big brain to help my wee brain. If we put our two wee brains together, we could be one good caster.
Average.
Yeah.
One average caster.
We can get there if we work as a team. Like Io and Tiny.
Oh, do you remember the, when was it? It was like TI6. There was the little, like, cotton ball Io and the Tiny made out of paper. The video.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I remember watching that again recently. Tiny and Io on an adventure. So adorable.
For some reason, I think it ends dark.
Dire's middle tower
They all do.
I remember Io trying to steal last hits from Tiny and then he spam pings. But I can't remember how...
Yeah, that is it.
How it ended?
That's pretty dark. That's a little too real for me, you know?
Yeah. Way too real. But yeah, 3
I mean, Elemental
for
Adventure. Is that what it is?
I think so. Something like that.
Important things happening here, guys. As an important push, they're back looking at their gravestones, being like, yes, I remember this place. Why are all these trees gone? Oh, yeah, we all died here a second ago. We have the powerful green lights at the top of your screen, alerting you to the presence
ultimates
of big spells.
They've got lots of them.
SG. They see the faceless void. A purple threat. And they're just hiding high ground.
With no BKB or anything. No Manta, no BKB, no Dispel or real safety item. So I guess if Lumiere gets gone on, things could be rough for them. The intention, though, for Infamous is going to be, we get the jump on you, though, I believe.
They need to pacify and punish the purple perpetrator.
That was powerful punnage, Trent.
Thank you. Well done.
I
do my best alliteration when I'm casting.
I was gonna call you Prent there, but I just didn't think it would. I just didn't think it would fly.
Thank you, Gareth.
Gareth. Trareth. Alone. Yeah, burst through the hoodwink. Easy as you like. And Sacred, he's got a good spear here on KXY. There's a Epulze and a bit of time being bought by the Lesh. Still brambled up and rooted, though, and KXY, another kill. Another notch for Alone's Queen of Pain. Beyond godlike streak continues. 14, 1, and 9. Oh, whoa, do they have the IO as well? Yeah, Epulze into spear, catching out Widge. 3 in a row. Hango's in trouble as well, hey. Silent slowed with a Shiver's Guard. 1 hit bash, 1 hit bash, 1 hit bash, 3 hit bash. Oh, okay.
Kind of wished he chronoed them. Instead of
Just
spite.
a little bit, yeah.
Probably not tactically sound, but alas. Man, Excel has the build, by the way. This Disruptor skill build, this is quality stuff. He just got the talent at 14. He's gone 4-4-4 with only a single point in the ulti. Guys, do this. This is smart.
Very nice.
All your other spells are better. Ulti's
so much damage as well.
Yeah, the 1 point's cool. Just get the 1 point. It's fine.
Well, objective claiming time for Infamous. Tier 2 mid. Come back down bottom.
He's down
for the
here.
outpost.
Just being sneaky.
Yeah, you're right.
Mars going to show, though. All right. Well, that'll end any ideas he had.
And TP. And what's next? Did Infamous just go again in 30 seconds when Sonic Wave's back up?
Yeah, I think
Did SG
should,
have a plan to like go before then?
I think they just scout Roche over the next 3 minutes. We'll get the timer soon, but that is definitely the plan. Best case scenario for SG is that the Chrono only kill like 2, and then Roche respawns right after.
Oh, Sacred finds one. Immediately takes out a little hoodwink. They cut the wave as well under their own observer ward, so Lumiere very safe with the Mars nearby. Take the outpost yet again. And it looks like IO's going to relocate the Lesh down bottom, and the split push the panel we're talking about finally coming into action, just trying to drag your opponents elsewhere on the map. Oh, arms. Sacred knows he was there a second ago.
Doing a good job. He's finding farm in a game that is very difficult. Currently holding 2,500 gold as well, so What to do as this tiny, though?
Yeah, like, do you go AC next, or what?
I guess what's your win condition is the question. Is it a rat thing, or is it a, like, you survive through big team fights and you, like, turn and get multiple plays off in a single engagement?
When you have, like, a satanic and heal up.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Oh, the Agnums is done. All right. Okay, that's a problem.
Disruptor Ags is here. That is a huge problem, isn't it? A huge problem for every single hero on SG. It's like no heals.
I'm gonna have my BKB soon. Awesome.
Good luck with that, buddy. Especially with the amount of circles that the Radiant have. Michael, can he shatter Realm? No, he absolutely cannot. Arms pops his BKB and crits him twice.
All right, Eco. Almost there.
Sacred.
He's almost got his refresher. Don't die, everyone. Wait for the Pango refresher fight. Retreat.
They're trying really hard not to die, Trent, but someone might die.
No, run away. Do not engage.
The two-man Chrono's there from Lumiere. Someone's gonna die. Io, the target of choice for him. Arms, he's there looking for a lone Queen of Pain, but now speared and silenced against the arena. Sacred focusing in on him, and that Sonic Wave will definitely help. And the jump back in. Lumiere trying to aim towards the Lash as we get a pause as Io buys back, and it looks like Io might have disconnected because he's kind of AFK.
Unfortunate. Oh, he was so close to his refresher too. That's probably the play. Yes, this is very unfortunate. I am not sure what. Yeah, good call. Good
is that
call.
your word of the day? Unfortunate in this series.
Yes, that is my word of the day. It is unfortunate. Unfortunately,
sad times.
Tiny went on that Queen of Pain. I'm not sure what the play was. I guess he was hoping that Alone just wasn't paying attention for a second. It might kill him before the BKB came out.
Eyes glued on the Leshrac, and then like, oh, I'm gonna get him.
Yeah, but it wasn't
They still
particularly
have static.
My brother, why he tips him. Alone has been quite comical today, guys. Yeah, he was
What
linking,
was he posting earlier?
He linked a YouTube video of an ancient meme. I did tweet it, as I believe he wanted you all to see it, and all I can tell is that it was some sort of pineapple apple pen. There was an apple and a pen and some guy dancing.
You've seen it before, right?
I'd never seen it before. No.
You'd never seen it? Okay. It was.
No, I don't remember
pretty,
this.
I think it was pretty big in like Southeast Asia. Like it was a big Facebook meme. I don't think it was necessarily like a
million views. So it was definitely big.
It was huge. I don't think it really had like a meaning. It was just kind of like that baby shark do. It's just kind of catchy and dank, you know.
Well, that's a critique of
Lumiere?
the Russian Tsar. But okay.
Lumiere is in again. Dieback Io. Alone keeps the streak going, and they jump in looking for any bonus kills. Hiko now down. Hello, grabbing a double kill and a glimpse back on the Lash, drags him into the waiting arms of Sacred's Mars. Bedlam's there as Lumiere clears up the hoodwink, and everybody's gonna die. Tiny buys back and gets nothing done.
I miss 1 minute ago when we were gonna dodge fight so Pango got refresher. Because I wanted to see that. And now Pango, you know what is really good versus a refresher is Aegis. That thing's pretty good in a lot of situations. Because, 2 lives. And he needs 2 ultis to kill 1 life.
Just have to get a refresher for his refresher.
They're working
on this time walk, reverse time walk is so fun.
It's a quality meme. I will give it that. It's got a lot of swag potential, a lot of good taunt potential.
Especially with the actual Agnum Scepter upgrade.
Oh, I mean, then you're just
like,
ruthless.
Jump in, time lock everybody, jump back out again. What you gonna do? Can't touch the Time Walker.
Alright, Hiko, sell your items. You get an Agnums. I mean, a refresher. That's the one. Do not get an Agnums.
What does he sell, though? Energy booster from Arcanes?
Honestly, I would if it wasn't for the fact that he'll get double, so I don't want him to.
He needs the double Arcanes.
I want the value mana, even though he doesn't really need it, but the value. Alright, he's going to get there. He's going to farm it up. They're going to take the time. Unfortunately, this is free Roche for Infamous right now. The Shard will be complete and gifted to... I guess probably Queen, huh?
Probably.
Pretty good one. She's got double silence now.
Disruptors ain't bad, you know. Put it on the Faceless Void, jumps into the Chrono.
Yeah, it's not too shoddy. It's not too shoddy.
Shabby? Yeah.
Shot,
Oh, Hiko. Rick, roll up. And Rolling Thunder. So that's one ulti used up. He can sell. Well, can he sell Quelling and buy Refresher now, or does he care buyback? Because he has buyback along with Hoodwink.
Ah, no cares buyback. Win fight.
Ooh. Hoodwink. The trees offer no safety against this Queen of Pain. Shiver's Guard giving that vision they needed.
Yeah, they have so much good vision for a Hoodwink this game too. Between Disruptor and now into the Shiva's Guard. Willow has got some stuff too. Even Mars, of course, can just like kill all the trees. It's hard to be the sneaky Hoodwink in a game like this, but...
Oh, the IO mid. Oh, no. Oh, no, he's come back.
That's
and there's just
base.
a Void and a Mars waiting for him in his base. Top lane of Barracks. Ranged one
Arms
still
is gonna run
standing, but
into
not for
alone.
long. Where's
Start
that? Down
hitting him
bottom.
again.
Interesting.
He likes the space.
Yeah, well, look at that.
All right, where's that courier? Is it home? It's home. There. The refresher is complete.
Hell yeah.
All right. So
Just watch him like try and Rolling Thunder, get static stormed, and die.
no, Gary, don't say
It's
that.
gonna happen.
No. Don't be like that.
I am watching Axel because he has a blink dagger coming to him now.
Oh, this is such a good build. And he has the telescope too. He can be so far away and do his stuff.
Superb. Well,
All right,
Lumiere
guys.
and Sacred up to high ground.
It's only a 22k lead.
Who's coming in behind? The Dire scan
All right,
someone.
roll number
Hoodwink
one.
and Leisure here. They see Disruptor. Disruptor's a big kill. They can blow him up as well. Down we go. Axel's gone. Now it's a really spread fight. Widge down to Lumiere. They get the kill on him and a great arena spear, but the refresher. Oh, the Pango's coming back in for round two. The trouble being Lumiere is an absolute monster and the Pango can't stick on to anyone. Tungany hasn't really joined the fight until now either. He'll aim for Michael, get a couple of taps in, but the Eon disc is there, allowing for this Chrono to come in. And Lumiere will just pound and pummel with a two-man spear. Sacred sets it up to blow up this tiny and Pango quite easily. And Alone, what's his score now? He's 21 and 16. Monstrous stuff from Alone. A 48 to 18, 39-minute game. A pretty one-way street from, 15 minutes onwards or so? Team fight ulti power.
Yes, the only reason this game lasted so long was pretty much just mistakes by Infamous in terms of some of the fights they took, where they put themselves on the map when they didn't have certain ultimates. And also, sure, there are mistakes and stuff, but Dota obviously is mostly a game of capitalizing on those mistakes. And SG, I think, showed some promise in that regard. There were some rough-looking fights that they managed to turn into victories despite being at quite the disadvantage, but it was not enough.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of looked like, a pubby draft. It felt like, a team that hadn't really gelled together just yet in terms of team fights, but there absolutely some individual skill being shown off there. Some beautiful Dota from both sides, but Infamous, really showing their prowess in game one of this series. But we'll head back to the panel and see what they thought about our game one here.
Thank you, Gareth, for that little throw. As we're getting ready to talk about this game, was that what you expected, guys? Did you expect this to turn out this way?
I did. I think there were, the biggest thing I saw this entire game was all right, Infamous makes an aggressive move. They use Arena plus Chrono. And instead of just respecting those cooldowns, backing off, and then abusing, the 100-second window they would get out of that, they would try and fight when they had two or one hero dead. Yeah. They would never win that fight. And it just constantly snowballed over and over again. And I thought they just lacked a lot of discipline.
Winter?
I think the way they played the draft was also not very accurate. They were supposed to, I feel like, have dots over if you look at the mini map, right, they're always on two lanes only. I feel like the way they should be playing their lineup is always going to be, they should have people on 3 lanes. The Hoodwink should be trying to set up for some relocate ganks. I don't think we even saw that many or even 1 or 2 in the game. very little, and they were mostly grouping up on 2 lanes. I felt like whenever you are playing against this kind of draft and you can't really fight the opponent, you have to be trading resources whenever somebody dies. Somebody has to die somewhere on the map, and you have to trade with your heroes taking out the creeps on the other side of, of the map. Sorry, or at least using relocates to clear waves on the map. They were essentially not really doing much in the game, and the way they were choosing to take fights were quite disastrous as well. They were trying to fight when the chrono and every spell was up, and obviously they're gonna lose those fights.
Yeah, like they forced the bottom tier 3 when there was Aegis in chrono, and instead of like just showing the lash and using the IO to relocate when chrono was used, Pangolier was like on top of the lash. They get a 3-man chrono out of that. The relocate doesn't connect.
Yeah, it was so weird. It was like they were not respecting the enemies, lineup. There's also there's the disruptor, there's chronosphere. You have to, like, even with the relocate, there's a chance that you are still gonna die because of the glimpse. They were playing like whatever, we are just gonna hit the tower, and it took them so long to run away. Even though the enemy was like missing off the minimap for like 2 seconds already, they back off so slow and they got caught, and they just lost so many heroes. And the other issue was whenever the spells are down, they cannot kill Roche with their lineup, so they can't really get anything on the map.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, if I got 5 gold every time Gareth said, "Oh, they're going into a team fight with Arena up," I would have more gold than Hiko that game. It was not like, you're right. There was a lack of discipline, and some of the issues that Bowie was pointing out in the pre-panel kind of came into play, right? Like they might be talented players, but they're young, they're inexperienced. A lot of them would belong in Div 2, and what you saw in the Fallen Cup is kind of repeating here. Because in the Fallen Cup, I watched some of it, and their games were looking kind of like this, where you're like, they're not playing badly per se, but I don't see a plan to what they're doing many, many times. And that was against teams that are much weaker than Infamous, who, to be honest, besides 1 or 2 throws, looked pretty solid this game. They had a couple of moments where I feel like if they were against a stronger team, they would lose, but good enough to beat SG.
Yeah, I think overall they did what they have to do, like we mentioned during the draft. It's just easier to play their lineup, It's more straightforward. You have catch, you have decent lane, you have a superior team fight. Whenever you go to the enemy, they have to run away. It's fun to play like this, whenever the enemy sees you, they have to run, and you just keep chasing them. It's just very hard for the enemy to play. They have to play in a way where they use the map and they can take efficient trades. And it's not easy whenever you guys mentioned they're a team of a lot of new players, young players, and they don't really understand how to play their draft. I felt like maybe it could have gone a lot better with their lineup if they played accordingly. Everyone knows what they're supposed to do in the game. But, it was very clear that they didn't understood what they needed to do, even individually and as a team, what their draft is supposed to look like when they're playing against a heavy team fight lineup. It felt like they're just fighting mindlessly into the enemy most of the time.
Oh, we're going to have to see... Sorry, go ahead, Bowie. Finish your thought, please.
No. You can. I don't think it was that important, honestly.
Okay. No, we want to hear Bowie.
Yeah,
tell
us.
Right,
hear Bowie.
Will. Okay,
Talk to your analyst.
I was actually like trying to imagine how the communication for SG in that game was, because like there was a moment where the Shrek just invaded the big jungle of Radiant by himself. At the same time, Hoodwink's pushing top. So like I could just imagine everyone's like, okay, I'm pushing top. All right, I'm invading their triangle. And like the Hoodwink dies, then they go on the Leshrac. Like it really doesn't feel like they had a plan. You actually said that, Avo. It felt like everyone was trying to do their own thing, but nothing really connect. It felt like a super hectic hub, honestly, coming from SG.
Yeah, the P word is tough to say competitive, but it really did look that way for them, to be honest.
Yeah, like
individually
no one played poorly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna see if game number 2 is a bit better for them, because honestly, they need to just. After you play this game, you need to get your headspace together, but you also just need to forget it. To be honest, you can't look at this game and go, "Let's try to fix this mistakes." There's not enough time between the games, so just get your head together. Try to make a more solid draft for game number 2, maybe an easier one to play, and we'll see if they can deal with Infamous in this game number 2. For now, we're gonna go to a small break and we'll be back with the pre-panel for Infamous versus SG game 2. Take care, and until then. Well, guys, and welcome back. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Winter. I don't know why you stood tall today. It's like this is the most official panel I have ever done. Starts the panel like this. You're a delight, my friend. You're an absolute delight. We have a second game coming up soon. Let's talk about things that we need to see changed. First, you, Bowie. I mean, look, let's not touch on the obvious. I know they need a plan and discipline and play like it's a competitive game and not a pub, but like elaborate a bit more. I want something more complex than that.
I dislike the way they play IO. I think
okay,
if they want to play IO in the DPC, I think they need one better heroes. I think Tiny Leshrac is not the greatest combination. I can see why it can be good, but I just felt like they really need to improve their IO a lot. So maybe just draft something else. I actually was very impressed with Arms.
I got triggered by his skill build. He maxed the spirit on a position 5 IO.
Yeah, I saw that. Maybe they felt they like damage. I don't know.
Can that be the little title? Can we put "I dislike the way they play IO Dota 2 Bowie"? You quote it because that is one of my favorite quotes of the day. Like I've never heard that about a team. I dislike the way you play IO. Oh my god, that is harsh criticism. Considering it's one of the most picked heroes of all regions, it's rough to hear that.
Yeah, it's more about the pairings than the actual gameplay itself. Although there were a lot of missed relocates, which like it doesn't really tell. Like it's not to say that they don't play IO well. It's just that they were playing such crazy fights that there was no way to like prepare for them. I really felt like they were never really like in high ground. All right, guys, we have our cooldowns. They don't have their cooldowns. We hold high ground advantage with ward vision. Let's take an advantageous fight. They're just running all the time, and like the fights just become crazy. It's really hard to play around that. I guess there are
use your bodies, or at least sometimes use your bodies. You go die, and then you have some buyback after they use some chrono or some big ulti to kill you.
At least the buyback
at least we need to see some of that, in that game.
That's a good point, actually. Use your bodies. That's the other quote of the day. It's better to use your bodies and do nothing and let your game go away, honestly. So SG Esports once again, they just, I mean, it does say a lot though that the way you cancel a team is by banning like 2/3 of a hero pool in the first phase. Like these are not normal bans by any means, and it's not because Infamous doesn't know how to draft. It's just because they know how weak Faker is. Because Axel has played with him before on Infamous. He was the one that kicked him, so it shows why. Yeah.
That sucks.
I mean, I don't know if it was him. Like, I don't know if it was like the guy who orchestrated the kick. I'm just saying, like, he was among the teammates that kicked him. Right, so just saying that.
I mean, yeah, the Mars, really good pick. I think if they want to change things, maybe, just get the Snapfire so you don't give the combo away. Pair that with a good offlaner.
Hey, like wasn't Infamous the first pick the last game, and they were on Radiant also? Am I crazy?
They were on Radiant, but I think
I say SG was first pick.
Oh, SG was first pick?
Yeah, they first picked IO in that game.
Oh, okay. So they wanted what? They wanted okay, they just wanted first pick this time. Like, is that how it works? Like you just get the priority to choose whatever you want the next game?
Yeah, exactly. And then the other person, Mm-hmm. You the priority shifts, so you can choose either first pick, second pick, or Radiant Dire.
Okay. Yeah. Magnus and Dark Willow.
Odd start.
That's a rather not something common to open up with.
This I don't have Mars, so I skewer through two brambles, and that's how I'm gonna play this. Like it's my what's it? Yeah. Cheap version of Mars.
Yeah, the thing is, the ulti doesn't work so well sometimes.
That's
together, the fear and the RP. I would rather have something like Magnus Snapfire, so it's like straightforward, right? It's just easier.
Yep. I'm also not the biggest fan of Magnus into Mars because obviously he can stop the skewer relatively easily. God's Rebuke now stops the skewer as well, among other things. Horn Tusk can be stopped by God's Rebuke. It's like a lot of things that can stop it.
What I actually dislike about this Magnus is that I think it's going to be a support, and I'm not the greatest believer.
Pos 5 or 4?
Pos 5?
Pos 5, I think.
That's interesting. I don't know if I like that though, but it's interesting.
Pos 5 as walking and power. I mean, it used to be a thing.
Yeah, but he didn't really get any buffs, so I'm not a big fan. I started to see it. I think there was a CIS game where they played.
I mean, it makes sense because usually when when you're second pick, you open your first 2 heroes. Generally, there's a possibility the 2 heroes can be supports. Like one of the heroes could be a /core/support hero. So you have the flexibility. Yeah, I could see that. Maybe with some PA, I think PA Magnus is a classic duo.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, now I'm assuming you banned the biggest Magnus or like the biggest heroes that like PA has to be banned. If you have Mars as well, like you just ban the PA. Don't let the PA Magnus through. What other Magnus counters would you get rid of if you have a Mars on the enemy team?
I mean, you're talking about SG, right?
What other Magnus heroes would you get rid of? Sorry, Magnus combos, not counters.
Magnus
I think Ember is a good one.
Yeah, Ember's a pretty decent one.
Yeah, okay.
PA, then there's Ursa could be decent.
Yeah,
depending on depending on what kind of game you are looking to play. I mean, it all depends on the composition. There can be a lot of other options, but usually the ones that you see getting banned are the Ember, the PA, the Troll in certain patches. Those are the best ones.
I feel like this Rubik ban indicates that Magnus is going to be a core. Like, I don't feel like you care about banning Rubik if you're 5, right?
That's true. I agree. Yeah. That's a good point.
5 seconds remaining.
It can be annoying. It can be annoying even if you're 5. He steals your Empower. I mean, then he buff his carry.
True.
But if you're banning a Rubik, though, my concern is like,
are
you trying to play the kidnapping Magnus with a Horntoss Skewer?
I don't think so.
It's just not good anymore. Not against Mars. It certainly isn't.
I think you just go the tank. You buy the pipe if needed. That kind of Magnus,
Okay.
If you're a core, if you're a support, then obviously not.
Look, don't get me wrong. I think as a core, it's fine to like go for like an initiator build. Like it still works. But the Rubik specifically was a counter to the skewer style Magnus, right? And it's just not a style that's played anymore, or like not good anymore, especially not against Mars. So that's why it's weird.
I mean, I don't think that's particularly necessary. I think it's just annoying to play against Rubik as Magnus, even though you're not going for the Horntoss build.
Oh, you just think that it's just because he can steal RP, he can steal, he can annoy you? Okay.
Any spell, basically. Even if he steals your Shockwave or Skewer, it can still be very useful for him.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, I can see that.
Just wave clears, gets huge.
I mean, obviously, the best thing to steal is either the Empower or the RP.
RP, yeah. I'm not sold, I'm sorry. But,
Yeah, I know. But most of the time, I feel like right now, the best off-laners are like... personally, I feel like Mars and the Tide are the best ones. And maybe Centaur is the third one. Magnus is like maybe number 4, number 5, something like that, for me.
That's fair enough, yeah. He's fallen off.
Yeah, I think the Magnus is probably gonna be a core already because they banned the Winter Wyvern.
Yeah, that's the biggest indication. To be fair though, if you empower a core, it's always gonna be physical damage, or most always, right? So Winter is good against him.
I mean, it's also because of the counter initiate with the RP. You RP, then he just uses the curse. Then it's GG. You're gonna die. Your carry's gonna kill you.
Exactly.
Radiant team pick.
All right, so they go for the Conquer.
Oh, is this the carry? Maybe.
Good question, actually.
I mean, Faker does play Kunkka, though. So, it wouldn't be too surprising. Like, again, his hero pool is not that small. It's just like there's a couple of heroes that he's really good at, and then there's others. Like, Kunkka's fine. His Kunkka's okay. It's not that Malo, but it's good.
I mean, come on, to be fair, most players have a couple of heroes they're really good at, and the other heroes are like kind of average. It's hard to find a player that, he's actually amazing, anything he plays,
No, but in SA you have most the majority of mids have like 3-4 that they're incredible at, and then the rest are like, wow, it's they really falls off hard. I'm telling you.
Credit.
I am giving them credit. Dark Malo has 6 heroes. Dark Malo has 6
heroes. A lot of heroes already. You can't.
It is a lot of credit. It is a lot of heroes. I'm impressed, and they're really good at those heroes. But like the rest of them, they genuinely do not practice them like at all. So like when you pick them in competitive, it's a bit lackluster. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I get it.
Thank you, Winter.
You're a big fan of them.
I am a big fan of Dark Malo. I think that style is interesting. I like hero spammers, dude. I think it's good because it makes drafts more interesting, to be honest with you.
Do you think if in the future the draft, right, both teams get to pick a hero that cannot be banned? Like pre-game, you cannot
like
ban
one
this
hero.
hero.
SA wins TI. SA wins TI. Let me tell you.
All right,
like,
but could the other team see what you're choosing, or
No,
do
you cannot see it.
and if they
Unless-
choose the same one, it would be just one
unless
hero
you
that would be-
unless you choose the same one, then it's only one. Yeah, that's it.
That would be cool, actually. That would be really fun.
I think Thunder Predator finally wins TI. It's their chance. It's gonna
Why?
happen. Well, because
Then
their biggest issue is like half of them are hero spammers, right? Like particularly like Mago, but also to a degree Oscar. And so like you finally get their heroes through, easy. You got it. They're the best team in the world. They're like so good at their specific heroes, genuinely.
Turn to ban.
I love Hiko, dude.
Yeah. I wish
There
him
you go.
well, but this draft is not looking like that to me.
Yeah, that silencer is a little crazy. I'm not gonna lie. It is good versus Void Spirit, so you
Yep.
do get that combo breaker against the arena. You do get a way to lock the Void Spirit, but he might just rush you Scepter, and then your position 5 is kind of a bit bigger.
I mean, you look at their adjustments from last game. Look at their draft. Everything is team fight this time.
Yeah,
it's true.
It is. It is.
But it's better draft. It's a better draft.
Every single hero literally has a team fight. Imagine the post game, the captain or the coach comes out. Okay, guys, we just needed more team fight the last.
10 seconds.
I mean, that's how they want to play, because it felt like they wanted to team fight even when they didn't have a team fighting
Yep.
team. So that's cool. At least they are playing to their advantage.
I'm
They
happy
take
with
the
this
Void.
as well.
I don't even feel like Void was that good this game, but
It's just a hero, like melee hero that can get out of arena. That's what I'm reading with the Void, to be honest with you.
yeah, I feel like they're gonna go here that is bad versus Void, because there is overall less pick on SG. So maybe they're gonna go for a Terror Blade of some sort, or like
5 seconds
something.
remaining.
I guess Terror Blade is not great versus Willow, but
Or Conka.
Spectre is pretty decent, I think, against the Magnus kind of draft.
But you wouldn't ban Void, right? If you're gonna go for Spectre.
Don't think so.
Yeah.
Spectre is pretty decent against Void also,
Yeah.
because you're
Yeah,
tanky.
yeah.
He can't kill you in the chrono so easily.
Mhm.
But most of the carries are banned. What is it remaining? Is Brave King banned? I didn't see.
Oh, it was
Oh,
terrible.
Oh,
Good on
sorry.
you, Bowie.
9 pick Bowie coming hot. All right, let's let here for SG. You want
You guessed this one. You're the best analyst on this panel. So
I think you go Troll, right? You have Mag, they ban PA. You want to bash hero versus Terror Blade, I think. Or you can go Sven, but I don't like it.
I hope it's not troll, but it could be. I see why it's good in this draft.
You're a troll
absolutely hate it.
hater?
Look, I think every single troll game I've seen against Mars, troll sucks. If Mars is like a hard counter to you. People think, oh, I'm range, I beat him in lane. Nope. Mars plays with you like a pinball. He puts the arena down, and until you get BKB, you do nothing. Once you get BKB, you do something for like 10 minutes, and then you stop doing something when your BKB is 6 seconds. He's not.
I mean, does Slug work against their heroes? You think Slug can work? I mean, Slug's pretty okay against TB.
I like it. You actually have the boat.
Yeah?
Yep,
It's a Brazilian hero as well. I know Arms plays it, yeah. Every single Brazilian carry has to play Slarkus in their contract.
What?
Yeah, it's true.
Slug?
Yeah. Slagao, as they call it, yeah.
It's like Quito. Oh, they go
Drow.
Drow.
I mean, no Magnus synergy, but it's a good pick against Terrorblade.
Yeah.
I do feel like they have a lot of gap close for the Drow on the Vice and the Mars. Obviously, there is Silencer Global, so it is a little different when you actually add Silencer into the mix. You do have the Bolt to protect Drow and the RP, but I don't know. I just feel like it's a better draft in game one. Still doesn't look like a good enough
I mean,
draft to beat
the lane is going to be complicated though. Drow, most of the time you want to have like some Undying, some Bane, some mid shield in your lane.
Some Ogre.
Silencer and Drow in a lane.
Against Mars Lion as well.
You can literally just learn W on the Silencer, W on Drow, and just attack without drawing aggro, right?
That's Q on Drow. Well, I guess, yeah. Multi-shot.
I feel like he's gonna die a lot in the lane though. I don't know.
It is possible. It is possible.
Yeah, it's very likely that if he cannot get the pull off, I think the only thing they needed to focus on the Mars is just to make sure that the enemy cannot pull. If the lane is static, I think the Drow is gonna die a couple of times in the lane.
We're gonna have to see what happens with that game, guys. As it's a better draft. Will they be able to execute it? It's honestly really tough because draft matchups are never easy, especially with a much gap close. But it's gonna be up to SG Esports. Infamous obviously looking for that second win, and for the second cast, we have the same caster doing as the first cast. Obviously, it would be weird otherwise. It's Gareth and Trent.
I don't think it would be that weird. We tried it out for TI finals. We had Gabe and Trent coming in for that. It was pretty good. But yeah, here we are. Better draft. The panel saying for SG, tons more team fight for them. I did double check. Game 1 was Peru. Game 2 Brazil. So maybe that's also something they lean into.
Good.
Game 1 they don't want to do team fight ultis because bit of delay, bit of ping. So game 2 they're going to come out full strength. What do you feel about the Drow Ranger last pick, though?
Please.
Yes.
I'm ready now. We have a game as well.
So ready.
Take us in, because they're getting to the river here with great haste. And
they might see each other in a sec.
No one's going to die, so we're good.
Trent, that observer ward is dying.
Yeah, that's true. I quite like the SG draft. I think that the big telling factor to me will be how much burst they can accomplish during the globals and like what the sort of team positioning is when it pops. Particularly, I feel like there's a lot of pressure on Hiko and LTH. You have the Bedlam burst, and you have just like setting up for RP, which of course leads into like, even if global ends, we're hoping they're going to be grouped up for the takedown. And that burst, I feel like it mostly comes from those two, and then just hoping you can protect Arms and let him just like slay away.
So it's like covering Arms with what, like boat with the global in the RP. You're saying, make sure the Drow Ranger is able to keep the range and do damage into the TB, as that's the job she was picked to fill. Right-click Terrorblade.
Unfortunately, as the panel pointed out, there's a Mars. It's not that. Unfortunately, is getting you again. There's
a Void Spirit. Unfortunately,
yeah, they just kind of zip in, right? Void, quite literally, he just zips in. He dashes through. He sees. And then that's going to open up all these other avenues for incursions upon the Drow. So some spooky stuff here for a Drow player.
Does dewarding that ward give away your ward? Because I feel like the only way you see the Dire ward there is if there's a Radiant one to spot you placing it.
Probably. But it's also, I don't know if it's worth it risking it.
Like leaving the lane and moving over there and giving up time and space.
It's also a lot of early investment in the gold, but if you hit it, of course, you get some gold back.
Yeah. We'll see what Dark Willow does.
I don't think I'd do it. It's too risky.
Just leave it.
It's so satisfying if you hit it, though.
You're in two minds here. Do it, but don't do it.
Yeah.
I keep flicking my camera up to the top to see how Drow's doing, and every time I look there, there's like God's Rebuke and an Earth Spike and stuns being chucked at her. Silencers having a few struggles as well, being disabled up.
Yeah, there's a Silencer. I feel like I have not seen this hero very much at all across the DPC. I don't know, going to TI, remember all the calls, the panic? But nerf Silencer, quick! Hurry! See those broken hero ever? And then I think he did get a tweak before TI, but we still just, the hero was not relevant at all. So Silencer really waiting to find a place in Pro Dota lately.
It felt like he was a frustrating hero to play against, but not like a game-winning hero.
Yes,
especially
I would say that is true.
When his lane doesn't go particularly well. But top, Earth Spike into Spear, God's Rebuke, and the clicks from Michael get them first blood on the Drow. Winter, spot on as usual, calling that Drow probably going to die a few times in this lane. Already showing why.
Looks like this is the 7th Silencer pick across the entire DPC. Upper, lower division, all regions. Not very popular. That just now puts him above Pudge by 1 game. If you want that as a metric there, guys.
It was like Pudge looked like he was going to be super popular, right? Like the first, 5 games, we saw him like 2 or 3 times come out. Like Zai was playing him a bunch.
Yep.
I don't know. No longer. Oh, Terrorblade. Oh, the stick charges. 130 HP.
Would you like to hazard a guess at who is the most picked hero with a whopping 16-game lead over the next highest?
Is it Mars?
Nah, Mars is second. Close. But it's
I don't know.
They're a good friend of Mars. They like hanging out together on the lane.
Who is it, Trent?
It's Snapfire. 99 picks. One more for the good 100 picks across the DPC for Snapfire.
99 already.
Yeah, not doing too hot though. 42.42% win rate. So, I mean, Snap.
Drow.
Though. Oh,
not again. The value point in Gust not so valuable now for Arms. 2 deaths. We should have asked Winter what his number was. Bottom lane, Dark Willow. No, she's fine. Ogre might not be fine though. Oh, yeah, we should have asked Winter how. Like he said, Drow's going to die a few times. We should have got a 3, a 4, a 7.
Look, Sacred killed him and he was lagging.
It's like I don't even need a full connection.
Kill you anyway. This is just a situation where Silencer is unable to do anything, right? He can't stand against the Lion. He can't help the Drow. At what point do you just ditch and say, Drow goes bot and we'll put our Magnus top?
Yeah.
Is that something they should have done to begin with?
I don't know, because at first I can see the logic of like, well, maybe we can just push through it. Like, we have the damage from the Silencer and Drow can, if you get the lead in the lane, you can see how this could work out for you.
Yeah.
But obviously, yeah, we've now reached the point where it's clear that's not going to happen. So I think she TVs up here one more time, and they try it out, and then you make the tough call. But yeah, even this, like Michael trading with Widge, it's not looking good. Oh, he's going to get the body block too?
Yeah.
He's not even going to commit for it either. Yeah, easy.
Stops the pulls from happening. There's a decent wave coming in towards Sacred's Mars as well.
Is it worth taking the Bulwark? Or no, at 4? No, okay. That was my question. If he goes 2 Spear or Bulwark. But they're just not losing
damage,
the lane.
mate. Just kill Silencer like that.
Imagine a core player coming to help you guys. Can you
Never
imagine
seen that before.
That guy missed last hits for that.
What a player. Well, top lane. We'll look away from that disaster now. Not going too great for SG. Mid is looking pretty even between the Void Spirit and the Kunkka. 2 melee heroes just trading. Really, it's down to level 6, level 7. Action rune if they move.
Yep.
So bottom lane, I guess, is going to be our focus, so we don't have to look at the travesty of Drow Ranger. As Terrorblade, 25 and 2. Magnus out farming him though.
Yeah, with the headdress there, they're up to 7.4 HP regen on the Mag and 5.1 on the Willow. So trying to match what Ogre can do. He's out regenning an Ogre. A nice build.
Oh, and here comes the Kunkka. First rotation pretty early. Yes, he's cracked level 6. He'll throw the X-Boat, times it with a drag back, kills Lumiere. A much needed maneuver from KXY.
And what's so good about that play is that you don't have the punish. Like last game, you have like the Leshrac, for example, opposite the Queen of Pain, and you have to worry about something. I mean, in this game, it's a Void Spirit. He's going to be back in time to catch all these creeps and miss pretty much nothing. And also, trying to get a kill with level 6 against the Void Spirit, sure, it would be great if you solo killed the enemy mid. But that's so much less likely. Go get the free kill bottom.
It's pretty much impossible mid. Where's the rune spawn, though? That's the next question.
Glyph thinks we can get over in time and come back for the 6. Oh, it's bottom.
And the rune spawn's bot. Yeah.
Some things in life are just never fair for the mid player,
Yeah, it was well played by the Kunkka. Sets himself up for success. But now a smoke from the Lion and the Void Spirit spots the Silencer. And then we go with a chain stuns, which completely caught out in no man's land. Drow Ranger now hiding under tier 1, sat at level 5. Things not looking so pretty for SG in that top half of the map.
Oh, and I love this. Michael getting the ward down early in that jungle, right? Because you know where Drow's going to go. He also offsets it a little bit above that outpost up top because slightly less likely to be dewarded right there. And they just want to get some eyes on when Drow inevitably retreats back here.
Yeah, I love... Oh, Skewer into the brambles. Lumiere still level 5, so no Sunder for him, but he cuts himself through the trees. Eco and LTH unable to capitalize. I do like these kind of outpost wards, whether it's your outpost or enemy, just like in that vicinity are way less likely to be dewarded, right? Because that spot, you have the high ground to the right, you have that left-hand side kind of ramp, the staircase that's very often warded.
Yeah.
Even the ramp further south as well. Looks like Radiant scan clips KXY, so they know that Kunkka is moving somewhere. They see him with a TB illusion. And Lumiere moves into the forest.
Is he? He is in vision. They see the illusion there, so that they're going to know that he's over jungle there. He could die here if KXY went for a long-range torrent.
And Axel's baiting for the Void Spirit to jump in. Ogre tanks a couple of spells alone. Gets on top of the Dark Willow, but now skewered back. RP's ready. Hiko throws it at him. Widge dead on the other side of the map, but they want this Void Spirit real bad. Good chaining of spells there between the Mag and the Kunkka. Get a much bigger kill for SG.
Widge just continuing to contribute to the team by being the chum. Churning it up top there.
At least he doesn't give away intelligence when he dies.
Yeah, I had that thought earlier. I was like, should that be something with Silencer? Like, what if you could give back the intelligence, but you get double value out of the end when you were holding it?
Yeah. Well,
we
it's
gotta
not
make
like that, unfortunately.
Guys.
I guess that's another question we should have posed the panel. How much intelligence will Silencer end the game with? Just stay at
Let me just look at his stat
never gets
game.
involved. I meant bonus, the stolen stuff.
Yeah, see, my joke is that he's never going to get any, so that's why I said I'll just look at his stat game. Luckily, all jokes are much funnier when they're explained.
When you explain it, yeah. Well, sometimes you have to explain it to Neanderthal brains like me, you know?
True.
A quick call back to game one. And that tier 1 tower top is already dead. 9 minutes in, they've got control. Drought. Now down to the bottom jungle, as of course they've used that catapult wave to clear a tier 1 of their own. It's not looking too bad for SG. I thought this would be much rougher going through the laning stage than it has been. Kunkka's rotations have been spot on.
I really like the fact that SG are going to play in here in this Radiant jungle as Widge scouts out for the team once more.
-2. Kunkka still wants this Ogre, though. Pops a pretty hefty wand. Boat comes in with a 2-man stun. Lion. Great Earth Spike as this Drow multi-shot does a little bit of damage, but KXY a little bit stuck here. Gets the Ogre kill, but Sacred's dying. The Magnus and the Dark Willow take down the Mars, so 2 kills there. Nothing handed over in return.
This reminds me again.
They got the Silencer, that's it.
Yeah, it's like game 1 again, where they're taking fights that you're just like, why are you fighting this? Like, I feel like they knew that a lot of them were still here, and you got the free kill on the Silencer, and they continue to engage. They have a ward up on the high ground. It's still there, right by Hiko. So, like, they saw this. And the reason why SG are playing in this area, and what's so good about it, is that it's going to allow Drow to rotate back through and farm up onto those Ancients as well, where KXY is, and still farm up the whole jungle while feeling safe. And if they want to come in and fight you, that's great news for SG. I think they're very happy with that.
Yeah, keep coming at us. Hiko gets a skewer in onto that Void Spirit. He's stunned. He's done. Alone down to the Bedlam RP. They'll get that Ogre as well. Axel feeds himself away. Another 2-man stun, but that team fight's over. Arms comes out with a double kill after looking like he's having a torrid early game. Suddenly recovered.
I believe there was some sort of a toxic spill in the top lane and in the dire jungle because no one wants to be there. It must be contaminated or something because Infamous just are refusing to go and utilize that space. They're instead just ramming themselves in here. And again, great plays by SG as well. It's not like these kills are free or anything, but it feels like Infamous are just making this much harder than it needs to be. Alone, you've got to live this. Surely he's a Void Spirit. All right, he's good.
That's a nice tier 1 for them as well. So SG now have a lot of room on this map. They've seen Sacred moving back through his jungle. He's got Arena, but he really wants to farm that Blink Dagger right now.
I'll tell you what I really want, Gary B. I want a game 3.
What's that?
I think SG are kind of turning it up here. You know, they're looking a lot better.
Right.
I think they found good fights when they were down a lot in game 1. I think if they can kind of channel energy into game 2 here, things could look nice. Oh, he tries to go for the saving smoke. Doesn't hit. Of course, that smoke could also allow KXY to re-goose in here if they want to bait the mag, but they're just going to head on out. And maybe someone will go top one day.
It's like hunt the TB right now for Kunkka and Willow. This is Dire Observer Ward mid Radiant side. Oh, they've got a catch. Alone dissimulates. Half HP with a couple of Astral Steps there, so he's fine. But the amount of value this Dire Ward on the Radiant side mid lane has got so far, it's been tremendous. They've seen everything coming. Now a DD rune for Kunkka. A minute until boat's back up, so not going to be looking for any fights right now.
Well, Sacred has the Blink Dagger too as well on this Mars, so I think that they are set to go here.
Do they want to play with the TB, or is like TB just using meta to farm Ancients at this point? Lumiere tells his team go.
I like the idea of like baiting and like play around the TV and try and find a fight near tier 2 so you can actually utilize TV to like maybe siege a tower a bit. I guess the problem is that they need to find one of those before there's a blink on Magnus. So that's going to be very hard. Michael's trying to prep for this with the vision. Oh, good hide in the trees up top here as well. You're going to see LTH come through.
Oh, hello, Willow.
It's free.
Finger of Death and the spear. One stack on the finger kills for Lion.
Great setup. The support sort of pincering there onto the Dark Willow. Oh, if they actually tucked underneath there and caught the Terrorblade, that would have been so bad. He was low doing Ancients. But they'll find the Lion instead.
Yeah, they immediately smoke out of their Ancients after Drow cleared them. Catch the Lion on the way back. And you're right, Terrorblade, into Fountain. Cleared out his triangle, doesn't want to stick around.
Something about a veil on Ogre, huh?
Yeah, I feel like we've been seeing this on like position 5s more and more often. I think Treant is the other one that comes to mind, where we're just seeing like Treant buy Veil. Yeah. Like, cool, I have a Bassi, I'm gonna turn it into something. So it's not that expensive, right?
No, for sure. It's got a lot of good build-ups too. I mean, it's awesome with a Void Spear when he gets the eggs too. There's a ton of value there. So, plus you're an Ogre, so like your items, Medallion feels kind of awkward on the hero unless you like really want Roche. Force Staff is hard to afford.
And it's like, with Veil, you're like, I'm an Ogre position 5 and I can clear a creep wave.
True.
I can go Veil Ignite. Creep wave dies.
And they're going to lose a Rax pretty early this game, so he'll have that. Don't have a lot of hope.
Roshan. Half HP, and I don't think Infamous has an inkling that this is happening. They're just killing Roshan here with no contest. Alone's out of mana top. Sacred is top tier 1, just sitting there waiting. And there's Aegis for arms.
All right. SG, this is your chance to cement control of this game. Now, how do you play this defensively? It's Infamous. That's the question. I highly doubt they find Widge. I feel like Widge is like died enough this game and it's just going to be way back. So I'm just going to assume there's a global for the next team fight. So then I'm going to move on to probably the Mag, I guess. Do they have the vision to stop Mag from initiating on them, do you think? Or do you think he's just going to get a good jump?
I think he's going to get a good jump. Honestly, I think Silencer might have had a bit too much of a taste of success. He's got 6 permanent stolen intelligence right now. He's going to be looking for more. A bit of wave cutting from Alone and Sacred. Brambles. Ooh, the Void Spirit. He's got spells to disengage, though, and they'll turn onto Sacred, but they miss the Terrorize. Pretty close into the trees, yeah. They even place a high ground kind of Tinker Ward to try and see them. While that was all happening,
6 stolen
Lumiere
intelligence.
clears bot wave, farms the jungle.
And you're once you've stolen 6, this is like you're smart enough to take the IQ test, but still dumb enough to pay for it.
Still dumb enough to believe in it.
Yeah, he's going on that online course. He's like, yeah, I am smart. Yeah. Oh, $15 to see my results? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, top 10%? That's me.
He's going to go buy the new Jordan Peterson book.
Big brain.
0 IQ. They take control of the Radiant Triangle. Got some real good vision all the way around that top rune spot. And they're kind of just waiting for Infamous to make a move, because you've got to know that Alone is itching to get in on top of people.
I mean, he's just we're trading places from last game, right? He's cutting top. They don't want to fight. There's not really much point fighting into this Aegis. I think they see some of these big spells and don't really want to be a part of it. And they're hoping to get TV. Scotty would be huge. That would be so excellent for this TV, just to get a little bit more health.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's not good.
That's worth it. That's worth it. That's Drow's BKB down for 2 minutes.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's very not good for Drow. Bad news bears.
Radiant's top tower is under
Super value by the ogre.
has been killed.
I'm always curious when.
Well, he might get Kunkka's courier here too. Oh, I thought. Oh, he
Who
does
is
have a
he?
ward. He just doesn't want to go for it.
Okay. I'm always curious when this kind of decision is made. You know, we've seen Echo Sabers and Dragon Lancers get disassembled into BKB quite often, but the Drow Ranger here opted to buy an extra Ogre Axe, right?
Yeah.
So what's the decision there? Is I have enough gold to buy a full BKB, I guess? I
That
didn't need
and-
it a couple of minutes earlier.
Yeah, exactly. I think that the value from Dragonlance is just. I don't know. I would just be keeping it. I don't even want to disassemble it for that one item. I feel like it's still worth.
Okay. Oh, Lumiere. Scary times. They see the Ogre instead, though. Axel, yet again, gives his life up to bodyguard the Terrorblade. A little bit of item swapping by Lumiere. Pops out a couple of mangoes after swapping his stats items into his backpack.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't smell of desperation for Infamous, though. Even though I can feel this tidal wave coming from SG, you know, Aegis on Drow, they're pushing forward. They are playing their game very well. But like, that's the thing, right? Infamous are doing stuff on the map. They're not getting steamrolled.
No, they're doing what SG tried to do last game, but better. He's got so many free lanes or free waves up top as alone, and this tower is just taking so much free damage.
Top tower is under attack.
He's getting whooped by creeps.
Dire's
And another
And he
courier.
got another courier. Are you serious?
He's going to buy another Yule's as well, apparently. He's got Yule's queued up after already having one. Curious to see if he goes for that Aghanim Scepter, as he'll jump onto Widge's Silencer. Very quickly dispatches with him.
They're getting handled during this
Torrent.
Aegis. I mean, they got some towers, which is nice and everything, but you're not supposed to really be losing much when you're walking around the map as Aegis, especially when you're holding things like Blink RP.
Yeah. It feels like you're meant to go from like the 3k lead they've had a while now up to like, 5 or 6k, right? They're meant to get a 3k advantage further. But it's being kept dead even. Or Drow, how long's that Aegis? 20 seconds on Aegis.
I mean,
She's just going to die straight up here. They're global.
is under attack.
What?
Arms turns around. There's no one else here. It's just Ogre and Lion going on a Drow Ranger, and one of them dies.
Bit of a
Global force
greedy
down?
Global, yeah. I'm totally fine with that as Ogre, I think. Because, like, as you said, the Aegis is expiring, so now this means that no Aegis, no Global. This is a great opportunity for them to finally strut out some of these items that they've been holding on to. Alone will be the one to make that decision, I'm sure, as he's also close to the Aghanim Scepter, which is a pretty massive jump up in terms of damage output for a Void Spirit. So
Yeah.
I'd understand if he wants to hesitate a bit, because there's still some pretty scary stuff on SG.
I mean, what is it? In 2 minutes' time, we're going to have Aghanim's Void Spirit plus Skadi on TB.
Yeah.
So we're going to have some huge items coming out for Infamous. And I guess Sacred, well, he's already got BKB done. So that's
Tower is under
already
attack.
checkbox ticked.
Alone has just played so
SG.
fantastically this game. He's done everything perfect.
We'll see what he does now, though, with the Finger of Death burst onto the Lion. Arms is close to
See?
death, but
Just
not
like
quite. They've got
that.
the big RP. In we go with the God's Rebuke, and the BKB from Drow saves it from the arena, but 3 heroes obliterated by SG. The safety net was there for Drow. Arms surrounded by his buddies.
Dire's bottom
Very well guarded by Hiko.
top tower has fallen.
Well, so aside from that, Alone has
You
played
cursed him.
extremely well this game.
Under attack.
Like, it's very hard to keep a game going. Like, we saw SG fail to try and delay, like the way that Infamous has managed to this game. And number one, they have a Terrorblade, so he can basically control like jungle +1 or even just two lanes by himself. But then the way Alone is able to like control the couriers, catch all those waves up top. It did so much work for Infamous, but unfortunately, you're still in a losing position. Which means when you make that mistake and you get the big punish there, he goes so patient with this RP, by the way, as well. Like, I've been waiting for this for a long time. And as you pointed out, that is the saving grace that gives them that tier 2 as well as a high ground siege with only the range creep left, the range racks left.
Ah, great melee racks take. Infamous, now we start to get that whiff of desperation about them. They need to make something happen.
It's a classic.
Smoking out of their base.
DKB's back on Mars.
Time to clap back. Who's this? It's Kunkka.
One core
Smoke
kill gets
broken.
mags. One core kill.
DD rune. Ooh, Dark Willow takes the DD rune. The global's there as well. So Mars has the BKB spear launch, but KXY has the BKB of his own. Affliction stuns up the silencer, but Drought Ranger's going wild on the Lion. Now the arena comes. They blow through Hiko's Magnus. Terror Blade, he's trying his hardest.
Good arena.
Lumiere, he slowed him down with a Skadi, and LTH close to death, but Hiko's there with the mech. Now the Shockwave back in, waiting to try and skewer through the X Mark and the Brambles, and alone he's caught up. Another spear. Sacred's back in on the Drow Ranger, but Arms healed up until the death comes. Lumiere sunders back onto the Magnus and the Hex. They've got to catch onto the Kunkka.
Oh, Fire Blast?
Oh, that Fire Blast stuns him, and KXY down. Lumiere shows his face after farming for 23 minutes. He's going to try and grab himself a triple here, thanks to Michael with a blink stun. Impales LTH. Bedlam spent. Always into melee form. The Shadow Realm TP successful to escape from the danger.
The dregs of Infamous cleaning up that fight. That was terrifying. And then TV just turned it on. I really like the way that Sacred set that all up, though. Like, the arena was essentially, like, trapping an SG, and then he just left. He's like, I don't want to be in here with this Drow, right? TV's on the outside, just wailing away, finding the damage that he needs where he needs it. That is not an easy fight. And that was with a global starting things off there, too.
Yeah, it felt like Sacred kind of purposefully jumped in and didn't do anything, forcing the global, then pops his BKB and starts casting spells.
Yeah.
He was like, go on, try me. But we really do see the strength of that Terror Blade coming into action. It really has been 22 minutes of farming and doing very little.
Ooh,
now he's 2, 1, and 2.
They're going to smoke in having the RP ready, but he just finished the Agnums on Void Spirit despite dying in that fight.
Ooh.
Oh, that's free,
Ooh,
though.
hello.
Don't need Horn Toss for that.
Alone. Moves out of his own triangle. Squadron of couriers coming to deliver stuff to the Dire team now. It's a butterfly on Drow Ranger. Still a minute left on the Roshan timer, though.
Lumiere needs a lot of items.
Yeah, he's got them all queued up. BKB, Swift Blink, MKB.
Yeah, that should be it. That should be everything I need this game, then I'll win. Perfect. Team, I would like these items. Please delay.
Space.
Yeah.
Make lots of it. I guess like Mars doesn't need anything else. He's got Blink BKB. Ogre has Veil going Shard for that Fire Shield. Would be pretty nice. What does Lion need now? Aether Lens? Yeah.
He needs to respawn because Roche is up in 13 seconds. They have a ward on the backside of the Roche pit. So Infamous will get some knowledge, perhaps, like if a courier goes by or something, as to the fact that they're going to be going for this pretty soon. And Hiko's just waiting. He knows the value of this
Oh,
Roche.
no.
Oh, there's our replay, too.
He walks out as Roche respawns. The classic. Yeah, this TV with that Mars ulti, like you said, he just stands outside of it.
It's
yeah, they're going to make a go of this, right? The Hex on Kunkka. Global resets. Make sure KXY is okay.
That Yules!
Yules on the Magnus as well, so that stopped the Blink RP initiation. He's out of there, now skewering across to try and RP this big Mars. Sacred's BKB'd up and arena'd, but Arms, he's shiny and golden, walking straight through it. Michael and Sacred dead as Lumiere just ditches. Didn't want to fight there.
Oh, things were good, and then they went bad. He blinked into that skewer, the escape skewer from Hiko. He actually got taken out by him after that initial Yule's catch. And Excel probably going to be free.
The Ogre, yeah, they've got meta here, but Lumiere just really not in a position to fight whatsoever. Maybe with Alone joining, they can go back in as Lumiere's killed off the Dark Willow with illusions. He's going to kill off Hiko with illusions.
They let themselves just get whittled down chasing.
What?
That was like all TB illusions.
I'm just like watching the TB hero and he's just standing there doing nothing. And then a hero dies. Wait, what? And then another hero dies. He's chasing up high ground as well. Reflection on the silencer.
There's an Invis rune on
They
Kunkka.
see the Drow Ranger. Aether Remnant catches Arms. The boat's coming in. A bit of safety here for Drow potentially, but Alone's going to keep on chasing. X-Mark will drag him back, but counteracted by the Yules. And the Hurricane Pike, well, just the Force Staff on Drow, gets her to that low ground. But would you believe it? Roche alive, ready for the taking, but by Infamous. Potentially here if they wander into the pit, but they want a kill. They want a catch onto Widge. Silence are down. Now it's definitely Roche time. 2 heroes dead for 30 plus.
Meta? How?
I don't know.
How?
I don't know.
Aegis and Shard available? And Alone didn't buy it either, so now he's going to probably get a Shard, I would presume, on the Void Spirit. Excel's just feeding. He doesn't care. He's like, yeah, take me. Oh no. Oh, it's getting spicy. Terrorize? Terrorize? Oh, do it. Do it, you coward.
Dead. Oh, they're going to jump back in on this. The Dark Willow's caught out by Yule Sacred. He throws the arena onto them to zone him away from Roshan. Alone has a Yule to assimilate in a couple of seconds. He needs to buy time for himself. Now he's got the space he needs, but the Torrent connects just at a perfect time. The trouble being Sacred's there with a spear to reinitiate onto Hiko. Jeez Louise. Now Terrorblade is an absolute monster.
Oh, he's like, best case scenario. My Void Spear had to leave to delay, and now I have Demon Zeal. That's the good stuff. Plus, I mean, how often do you get to say Demon Zeal?
Never. I don't think I've ever said it in a cast before.
Get used to it, baby.
Demon Zeal.
Yeah, there you go. So it's 20% of his current HP to cast, which is awesome. It dispels you, and you get 50 movement and 50 attack speed for 7 seconds. And you get a better bonus when you're in melee. Crazy.
There's a 7-second downtime, right?
Yeah.
7-second duration, 14-second cooldown. Yeah, that's pretty damn good.
And
if you've got Swift
what's the mana
Blink,
cost on it? If you could read that to me.
is it 0?
It's 0. There's no mana cost. Isn't that nice? Isn't that quality? You can just spam it.
So nice.
Now, mind you don't really want to do it when you're at full HP, but you know those mid-game fights. Maybe you get a little bit of lifesteal in your build. That can be kind of hype, or like, well, preferably your team, obviously, because TV. But
Yeah, Ogre, by Vlad's.
yes, please. You know what? Actually, though, Ogre by Blast.
Seriously. I didn't realize Fire Shield lasted so long. I keep seeing Ogre put it on the TB and it just lasts forever. 25-second duration on Fire Shield.
Oh, that's right. We haven't even talked about that. Pretty good spell.
Well,
I think it's one of the main
wanna.
reasons Ogre gets picked these days. Like, you know, the hero's always been good, but it's just that little thing that puts it over the hump, right? Like if Witch Doctor had this shard, you'd probably see more Witch Doctor, for example.
Especially when you've got like one true carry, and you're just like, I will put this spell on this hero always. No decision making needed. Where is TB? I will put Fire Shield on him. Nice little Bloodlust. SG going for a bit of a push down bottom, but they're not committing for it. Need to come back and address the TB illusions.
The other thing about this is that there's no range limit on Fire Shield. So versus like a Drow lineup, it's kind of sick. She's like way back there, you know?
Just launching fireballs at her.
Yeah.
Oh, Kunkka. Ogre gets spotted by the... Oh, no. Yeah, well, now they'll know. Ogre throws some ignites on the creep wave. They see the Kunkka. KXY, is he going to have to BKB TP? He just goes for the TP. He didn't BKB, now he does. Body blocked up a little bit, but look at who's wrapping around from the river. It is Terrorblade. He's got a big torrent on that Kunkka. Nice boat as well. He's doing some good work there, but he's got no teammates anywhere near him. I mean, Coco's Rum is bonkers stuff right now. Finger of Death is like no damage whatsoever. KXY.
You better hope Ice Frog didn't see that. He's like, wow, that took them an extremely long time to kill one hero. Now, mind you,
what's he got? Titan Sliver?
He did use the Demon Zeal, so yeah, that was 20% of his current HP as well when he Demon Zealed. Demon Zeal.
Demon Zeal or Demon Zelt?
Demon Zeal.
Zelt?
He was Zelt as a demon.
He was Zelt, right?
Yes.
I'm just wondering, like, it's one of those weird words where you say zealous and overzealous, right? Or a zealot. But we say zeal when it's not a noun.
He is Zelanius.
That's a good one. Zelanius Monk? My favorite jazz artist right there.
Perfect. That sounds like you're making that up, but I'll choose to believe you. Well, I guess
you don't know Thelonious Monk? Thelonious Monk? Yeah, that's true. Jazz is just made up. It's all the wrong notes at the right time.
That's pretty deep stuff right there. I don't know if I can handle that here. I know Infamous can handle this game. We're in SG doing well in this game, guys. What happened? You guys remember that?
It has turned around. But they've still got stuff like RP and Boat and Terrorize. It feels like they just need to click their buttons onto some enemy heroes and things will be fine for them again.
When they cast their spells, they're generally very good.
Yeah, just don't get chased by TB illusions for like 3 minutes and lose your 2 supports for no reason.
That one. Yeah, that was bad. And you know, the BKB courier dying, that was actually kind of huge by Excel. And then the global with 20 seconds left on the Aegis. That was kind of awkward too. So they didn't get very much. And of course, they lost the second Roche. And, well, Lumiere's your uncle. And he's, he's almost completed his build. Team has delayed.
God, he's got an MKB out of nowhere. We still have to wait another 2.5 minutes for potential next Roche spawn, though. I don't know if Infamous want to actually go and do anything until then. Just wait on their high ground. Sit ready for SG if they make a move.
Is this a thing that Hiko's doing? Aether before Shard?
Interesting.
I feel like that's not a thing.
No. I know. Surely you want the Horn Toss.
Yeah, I feel like it's just better to have the... I mean, Horn Toss is, well, Horn Toss. It's something.
He's got Psychic Headband, right? Does he need Aether Lens?
I guess, yeah, he's just building up on it. He's like, I really want the distance.
Smoke into smoke, Trent. They're going to clash. They're going to butt heads. Oh,
Smoke's
detector. Break. Oh, no. Kunkka shows... Who was it? Lion that had the smoke broken on Radiant. I want to get some vision down. Now taking...
Oh, look how tempting this rune is.
Sacred's in such a good spot. Oh, he blinks spears straight on to that Kunkka. Lumiere gets his BKB off, but the blink RP from Hiko catches the 2 of them. Boat on to the top, but Terrorblade just too huge at this point. KXY is on the run. Slowed, fingered, nearly dead. The multicast comes, and KXY, he's gone. Drow Ranger also got slain by Alone's Void Spirit, and the chase is towards the Dark Willow. Lumiere picks up a double as Widge drops, and the poor Dark Willow will follow them into the grave.
Yeah, but that Invis rune, though, it was looking real tempting. Just had to go in.
So tempting. Is that game now?
Yes.
Like, TB matter for another 5 seconds? They'll get a lane of racks, but there's still a chance.
It's
they're going tier 4s.
Sacred's at least thinking about it. He wants to put it in their head.
Are they?
Team?
Can they? Demon Zeal. Sounds like something Slacks would come up for.
Oh, that was sick.
Come up. Oh,
dude, they baited him in so hard.
Really nicely done. It's kind of forcing his buyback there as well. Just going to keep poking and prodding. Finish off that Rax in the mid lane. Lumiere blinks away. Roshan, 5 seconds until fast spawn. This seems all perfectly timed for Infamous to go back and... 41? Try 3 minutes.
Nuts. I could will it into existence,
I keep forgetting Infamous are a lane down.
Oh, yeah. Wow, I actually totally forgot about that. It has been a long
lane's dead,
time.
by the way.
That's a Terrorblade game, dude. When it doesn't even feel like you're a lane down.
Man.
Oh, illusion
at this... Very nice.
Yeah.
At this point, I usually try to look at what kind of item is coming up next for the team that's losing. I just don't know if there's an item that salvages their game. It feels like it is just execution. Can we get the vision, the team fight, the jump that we need? So far, Infamous has resoundingly just said no.
All right, well, there's an Aghanim's kind of on Widge, as you can see. I don't know about that one. That gives the AoE last word. Very cool, for sure, but I guess if you can catch it after the dispels, I don't know. He's got
just give him all the tomes. Man, get him to level 25. Last word mutes. All alone. He's in on top of Widge. Eon Disc is popped. Widge tries to turn back onto the Void Spirit as they land an RP. Lumiere stunned up for quite a while.
It was a big delay.
Yule's on Sacred as well. They disengage away. He goes. Skewers off to the right-hand side, but Sacred's back in with a God's Rebuke. Dead for 90 with no buyback. And they're eyeing up that top lane of barracks.
I think the destruction of Horn Toss has made Mag a little awkward. I don't know what to build on this hero. Like, I like the idea of the tankability items for sure. Like, he's got the mech and stuff, and like if Pipe's good, it can be nice, but he doesn't really have the best Empower ally this game either, so I think that's not helping. Ooh. There goes Wiz.
Yeah, he dead. And now Arena already put out there before the global can come. Alone dropped. As the Dark Willow gets a pretty juicy kill. No buyback on him, no way to re-enter the fight, so Infamous forced to scatter. There was a buyback and a global, though. And no matter where you look, there's Radiant Waves crashing in towards the base of the Dire team. So they've got to, what, push out 3 lanes and then think about contesting Roshan? Or they just ignore the lanes and go straight to Rosh because they're that afraid?
There's so many eggs coming out right now, too. KXY has his eggs just finished up now as well. It's flying on the courier, so perhaps the chaos of the Kunkka Aghanims can sow some discord among Infamous. Yes. I love stealing that as a Rubik. I feel like Poseidon or something. It's because I just don't really play Kunkka, but when I steal it, it feels nice.
That's a nice little way to clear waves as well. Just X mark back. Don't stick around in Roshan completely. Group up and play together. Man, I actually just can't believe Arms is 11, 4, and 6 after the start he had. He has genuinely had a tremendous, 35 minutes after lane stage.
Yeah, you can also see some of the struggles of, like, the Drow versus the Mars, I think, in particular. Because, like, the Drow makes sense versus the TB, there's no doubt. You're piercing through that armor. Like, you look at TB, guys, look, he's got 42 armor. Do you see how it's all white? That's usually very bad versus Drow. Because she's just going to pierce right through your armor. That's what she does.
Are they killing the Kunkka here? That's a good RP to try and stop the Kunkka dying, but he still falls anyway. 80 seconds, no KXY. Terrorblade, Scardy slowing the Willow and looking for the Silencer, whose Aeon Disc has already been used up. They've got the Hex from Michael. Disable him up, double kill for Alone. He goes speared back, beautiful move from Sacred to blink in front of him, and a triple for the Void Spirit. Now you're in a 5 versus 2, the tier 4s are unlocked, and Lumiere goes straight for it.
I think the fears of the Drow were fully realized this game. Just like, you lose that momentum for just a second, and you no longer have a safe haven to just sit back and throw spells. And by spells, I mean right clicks. And said right clicks just never came. I think we're going to look at the damage that Drow did to TV this game, and it's going to be, like, pitifully small. Like, I think she probably did, like, 5k damage to TV, and most of it was in that last fight where she's just poking him on the Ancient, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I mean...
I'm going to guess 3,100. All right, I'm going to be right this time.
You can have a quick look.
I'll be having a quick look.
Straight in there, looking at the breakdowns. But honestly, though, going into this series, I didn't expect much from SG, and they've kind of what's the number?
That can't be right. Hold on. That can't be right. That must be damage taken, right? Oh my God, no.
It just can't be right, Trent.
That can't be right. Did you look at it? That can't be right.
Is that 0?
It says 0.
It says 0. Drow Ranger did 0 damage to TB, apparently.
She never right-clicked TV. You know what it is? She only hit him with multi-shot because the multi-shot goes through the arena, which doesn't make any sense when you think about it. But she did 0 damage to TV. That's your counter pick, guys. That's a problem. All right? That is all Sacred in those arena placements, by the way. And just the way Lumiere played around that can't be right. Is that actually right? That's got to be right. No. I mean, I'm serious. I never saw him hitting TB this whole game.
I mean, you said it would be a pitifully small number, and you know what? 0 is a pitifully small number. My goodness. But yeah, I didn't expect much from SG. We've seen Infamous, time and time again perform very well. I think that, given the circumstances, SG did better than I expected, like draft-wise and play-wise. They showed that they can execute in some regards, but maybe it just takes a bit of time for them to actually gel together. And I don't know. What are your thoughts in that?
I think they definitely look good. They have like the potential for sure, and I think it's gonna be really frustrating to see a game like this where you were ahead, but hopefully they can see some of the positives of like how they got ahead, and then of course try and fix some of the issues to where it went wrong. And part of that comes down to just like the draft in terms of, I think, difficulty. I think this was a hard game to win for them. I think they did well getting to the point that they did, but unfortunately, this is a like one single slip up and you slide all the way back down the mountain kind of draft, and they slid back down that mountain pretty damn fast. But overall, I think that they're the kind of team that DPC is great for, because they should be growing to try and become a contender that turns these games the next times they face someone like Infamous.
Absolutely. I'm just sitting here staring at a big fat 0 in the middle of my screen that Drow did 0 damage on TV. I can't take my eyes off it. But with that, yeah, we'll pass it back to the panel and go through their thoughts on the series.
0 damage. 0 damage from auto attacks. I think Gareth said it best. There's your counter. I mean, okay, before we talk about the game, I just wanted to mention one thing which surprised me. Thelonious Monk, a real jazz artist. Why do you know this, Gareth? Every day I get proven that Gareth is the most cultured caster, and he says the wackiest things. And I have to check him, and I go, there's no way that this is true. And it's true. Thelonious Monk. Thank you, Gareth, for enlightening me every day. Anyway, talk about Dota. What was the shift? Because they were actually doing well this game. Our casters talked about how they didn't press their advantage too much. Bowie?
I want to say something here, because in the first panel...
Bowie, unmute yourself on Discord, please.
All right, so I want to say something. Because in the first panel, Avo said, well, Bowie, maybe you should talk about things that are not obvious, all right? Because I said that they were being not disciplined. Once they took the lane of barracks, all right, they went to the mid lane, and I believe Global Silence was on cooldown, and they decided to take a fight even though Aegis was expired. They bought back a hero in the mid-tier 1, and they lost that fight, and that was the beginning of pretty much them losing all of their map control, Terrorblade just farming for 5 minutes. And I think that was pretty much why they lost that game, because if they don't take that fight, if they just wait for all of their cooldowns and they control the high ground, wait Roche, they just win that game. So that, kind of sad, but I do feel like they are playing well. So as long as they can fine-tune those details and play the macro game better, I believe they can do much better.
I mean, the early game was pretty good for them. Like, the Kanka made some really good rotations. He went bot, I think, twice, and I went around to help his team. He was pretty rich in the first, 15? Like, he was the top of the network, first 15, I think, 20 minutes. He held the game together, even though Drow was having a really terrible laning phase. But he was able to farm, recover, thanks to the Kunkka.
Yeah, I really like the Kunkka, Kunkka Drow mag combination, because it felt like they were able to protect her. But I believe that the arenas, especially the fight I was talking about, where the arena was like in between the low ground and the high ground, and the Drow, like, the only damage she could do was multi-shot. Because this draft is so heavily, like, all of the damage comes from the Drow, and she can't literally do damage to Mars. I'm sorry, to Terrorblade, it was 0. I felt like they were lacking a lot of damage. I also feel like some of the RPs were very rushed from Hiko in the mid game. He would use RP to save someone, and then that person dies anyways, and they cannot make a move for 2 minutes, which is a problem, I guess, with Magnus in itself.
Yeah, but as the game went on, I felt like the power of their draft just
Oh, that's the fight. RP was on cooldown. It was not global. That was the fight I was talking about. Really good arena in the river.
Yeah, he stopped the draft from doing. I think we saw a similar thing in the European League. Was it? I think Nicole Baby. I think he didn't pop BKB or Elsa
Oh
Medusa.
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, like the Mars is just really good against all these like range carry heroes later into the game. It's pretty difficult to play around it when you don't have BKB.
Well, it seems like we've managed to bring down the game a bit. What would you like to see for the next engagement here for SG? Because this is like there's still room for improvement. I think their second game was much better than the first one. What is the one thing you'd like them to concentrate on, Bowie?
I feel like their draft was really good. Overall, I feel like Arms was probably the player that stood out the most. Like, he was very stable in both games. So I think ideally you want to give Hiko something that plays a little bit higher tempo than what they get. I think it was Pango and Mag this game. So something that can just play a little bit faster, because Arms, like, even when he had bad laning stages, he was able to like recover in the game.
Right.
But yeah, having this offlaner that can just play faster and ideally defend the tier 1 tower a little bit better, because I don't think Mag and Pango do that as well as, a Tidehunter or a Mars. I really feel like giving Mars away both games was probably... I'm not sure if Eco doesn't like playing Mars. I'm pretty sure he does.
He does play Mars.
Yeah, so I just feel like giving Mars that way and picking the heroes that they didn't really help SG much.
Winter, there was one thing.
There's definitely heroes that can allow them to play, their current style better. But I think overall it was a very positive showing from them. They showed that they could play better than what they did in the first game. It was just a couple of small details like discipline, not taking the fights, not being patient enough. At the highest level, one mistake like that just gonna lose you the game. They have to just polish things up. But overall, I feel like it's a very positive thing what they showed in the second game compared to the first game.
Okay. And with those positive thoughts, we're going to say goodbye, as this is the only game that we have today, right? So I'm going to remind you guys that tomorrow we have some pretty hype matchups. If you enjoyed Epulze King of Kings beating Lava, which was a surprise to many, they have a matchup tomorrow against... tomorrow, right? Yeah, tomorrow against Noping. And that's going to be a pretty hype match, as the new Noping has been looking pretty strong. Maybe not as much as the old one. We don't know yet, but certainly up there. Top 4 contender for sure. And Epulze King of Kings has already been known as the King Slayer for now. So let's see if they can do the same thing with Noping. And then the matchup towards the end of the day should be a hype one. It used to be El Clásico of the South American region. It's going to be Beast Coast versus Lava, the old Thunder Predator, facing off against their rivals. That's the last best of 3 for tomorrow. Super hype if Lava can bring it, because against Epulze King of Kings they struggled, they lost, and that was not a team they should have lost against. So if Beast Coast bring in their A game, Lava might struggle, but it might also be a trial of by fire. Who knows? Maybe that's what actually forced them back against the wall to play their best Dota. We'll have to see as we finish our day today and we wait for tomorrow. Remember, guys, to follow the channel. Epulze Gaming here is going to be where you find all the SA action, both Div 1 and Div 2. In the English coverage will be exactly on this channel. And as the tour progresses, we're going to have some more content as well that we're going to be publishing here on this channel. Some really exclusive stuff that I think you guys will be interested in, including interviews, player cams, special pieces, Bowie teaching you Portuguese, and much more. We're gonna say goodbye today as we go to bed with the good feeling that we just watched some great Dota. Hope you enjoyed the panel, hope you enjoyed the broadcast, hope you enjoyed the Gareth combo, and see you guys tomorrow. Until then,
see ya.
All right, cool. you.